presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Well, they say that home is where the heart is. For the Tigers, it's also where the wins are. They are 21-10 at home since May 16th. That is tied for the best record in the American League. Hopefully more of the same here tonight as the Tigers return back home. Welcome to Comerica Park. Nice night for baseball. Tigers and Astros, Game 1. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba alongside Kirk Epstein. Glad to have you with us for Game 1 in this series. Well, the Tigers, Kirk, had a bumpy ending to the Chicago series. All of a sudden, they played great baseball in Boston. They're on an upswing now.
This game is really something. I left in Minnesota. We were down as we lost to the Twins. We win the first two with Chicago. We're feeling good. You lose the last two in historic fashion. Then you go into Boston and you sweep. This is called the roller coaster. You like roller coasters? I
love roller coasters.
You got to enjoy it. And that's why I always talk about digging through the tough times. The Tigers have done a good job of that. And now it's time to come down to Comerica, rally, energize, get on board, because this team, I think, is ready to go. All
right, let's talk about the pitching. Matt Boyd will go tonight. Really, the Tigers pitching in that entire Boston series was good. They are on an upswing as well.
What I liked about the Tigers, the starters in the pen finally worked what I call together. You got good performances in the first and third game. They were tight games. The pen came in and they did their job. Then in the middle game, they needed to score runs, and those wars in Boston can get to you mentally. They didn't give in. Again, they worked together. It's created a real good bit of positivity, and tonight we've got Matt Boyd going, and he's going to feed off of that. Here's a young kid who's really starting to come into his own. He's been pitching because of injuries to the Tigers staff. He's starting to pitch. He's realizing how to use his pitches. The changeup's obviously been a good pitch for him. He's using that high fastball. He throws the curveball as well. The Tigers are looking for another good performance out of him. You see in his last three starts there, a 1.17 ERA, 17 strikeouts, and only 3 walks. So we're good to go. Let's go.
All right, let's go. Game 1 in the series coming up. Kristen Keith, after a short break, we'll send it back to the Call Sam Studios, check in with her. But coming up tonight, how about this Astros team? After a very slow start this year, they are suddenly red hot. This should be a great series. Tigers-Astros, Game 1 from Comerica, next. Comerica Park, game one tonight between the Tigers and the Astros. Matt Boyd taking the hill for the Tigers tonight. He is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Well, you see the record 1-2 ERA at 4.63, 38 strikeouts, 14 walks. He's last 3 games, 17 strikeouts, 3 walks. Really throwing the ball very good. This is his 9th start for the Tigers this year. He's got 4 pitches: fastball, slider, curveball, and the big one that's really changed the way he throws the game is the changeup.
Here is the lineup he will face tonight, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. For visiting Houston, George Springer leads it off. He'll play in right field. Marwin Gonzalez at first base. Jose Altuve leads the American League in hitting. He's playing second, followed by Correa.
Pitch around him.
Gaddis catching, Rasmussen left. You've got Bregman, White, and Marisnik rounding it out. Pitch around Altuve apparently tonight.
You got to have a little curveball for you early, didn't I? I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense, brought to you by Beaumont Health. Jay up and left. Cam Maben back in center field tonight after missing 5 games. Tyler Collins in right. On the infield from third to first, Castellanos, Iglesias, Ian Kinsler, and Miguel Cabrera. Salty behind the plate, putting down the fingers tonight.
So we're ready for baseball. A little bit overcast here this evening, but the Tigers getting set to start the homestand after a really good finish to the road trip, sweeping the Boston Red Sox in 3. And Matt Boyd goes to the hill facing George Springer, who will get things started here for the Astros.
Tigers did a good job of getting through that trip, Mario. You know, the Chicago thing could have fell apart, but it didn't. And then the Boston thing was outstanding, kind of running a good bit of energy here in the Comerica Park confines today. Club's feeling good about themselves.
The roller coaster was heading down after the 2 losses in Chicago, but quickly righted itself. There's a ball outside to Springer. 2 balls and no strikes. Springer, good looking player. He is batting .257. Good power, has some speed as well. 22 home runs this season for Houston. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And it's inside. 3 balls and no strikes. Gonzalez and then Altuve to follow here for Houston. Not much of a breeze here this evening. Calm night at the ballpark. Here's the 3-0, and it's in there for a strike on the outer edge.
See our new feature here tonight, the box tracks. We're going to show it every pitch. You're going to see it come into here, and sometimes when we question these pitches, it'll help you understand the strike zone. Sometimes they make it be on the plate. Sometimes it's just off.
Look out. There goes the bat into the seats.
That's some bat speed. They got the exit velocity on that?
Yeah. As typically we do that on the baseballs, leaving the ballpark, not the bats. Full count, 3-2.
There's some good bat speed right here. Just you don't want to grip the bat too hard because it takes away the life in your hands. And obviously Correa right here gets away from him. Oh, I think he might have got somebody there.
Hopefully everyone is okay in row 1. Meanwhile, 3-2 on George Springer. 1 for 12 in their just completed series against the Yankees. And he swings and strikes out. So Boyd falls behind, but ends up striking out Springer.
Good composure right here by Matt Boyd. Comes out of it in a 3-0 count to start the game. Comes right at him. Gets a good fastball. Throws it right by him, and got 1 down here in the top of the first. Springer does have a lot of power, but he does like to strike out as well.
Here is Marwin Gonzalez. Gonzalez hit .256. Sends one high in the air, but foul down the right field line. Multi-dimensional guy Gonzalez can play a lot of different positions. A little bit of pop. 10 home runs this year for the Astros. Houston, a team that after a dreadfully slow start is now 55-46. I think most of us gave you thought that eventually this team would kind of turn things around based on their season last year. That's pulled to left field. It's going to get down a base hit, maybe more. Upton runs it down to the warning track. Gonzalez trying for 2. Here comes the throw, and he is safe at second base.
Yeah, I think he missed the tag. Good slide by Gonzalez. Gonzalez rips this down into the left field corner. Good play by J.Up. Good throw right here. Ian Kinsler's back is to the play. You can see he tags, goes for the tag. And Gonzalez goes to the other side, reads the throw well. It looked like he was out, but I don't think he got the tag on him in time. And a safe call by the second base umpire.
Paul Nart was right on it, said that he missed the tag. No challenge from the Tigers. It'll be a double for Marwin Gonzalez.
Jay Upsheimer's feeling fresh tonight. Tigers coming off an off day. They had the big wins there in Boston. They have an off day. Always feels good when you get on a streak like that. Did you get a day to yourself? And you're playing at home. It's even better. You get your fans there. Familiar settings.
The Tigers have played their best baseball at home this year. Altuve has been a tough out to say the least, but the power numbers for the little guy are up this year. 17 homers.
This is probably, you could argue, the best hitter in baseball, and he's up and coming. He's got certain hot zones about a little under belt high. If you leave it middle in, that's the one he's really turned on this year. We talked about the 17 home runs. Is he 5'6" officially?
That's what they list him.
Shortest MLB player, but he's got some stock in his bat. He puts the barrel on the ball and he hits it with authority.
2-0 is high, 3-0. Is he a guy that is a good example of bat speed? And when you've got a guy that's this small hitting home runs, he must have terrific bat speed.
Well, I think his path to the ball, along with the speed and the way the ball comes off. I mean, they've got to pretty much be putting him on here. But you know, when he hits it, he's got that backspin. He hits it the right way, and the ball jumps.
Here's the 3-0. He had a rip. 3-1.
Yeah, just looking at their lineup, they got a lot of righties in there. You do have a switch hitter in Gonzalez and a lefty in Colby Rasmus, but everybody else is right-handed. And I think Altuve would be a guy, if I didn't have to, I would not give him too much to hit. I mean, he's proven it to many people around the league.
First base open right now. 3-1 the count on Altuve. And a drive in the air to right field. Ball hit well. Collins going back. He turns, and that ball is gone. It's an opposite field 2-1 homer. The Tigers pitch to Altuve, and he makes him pay. 2-0 Houston.
Yeah, he's got a very compact swing, and that ball was elevated. He gets on top. I think this is a fastball, and you're going to have to really mix it up against this kid. He's really got a good swing. See, it's just at the top of the zone right there. Doesn't try and pull the ball, just like Miguel Cabrera, right on the outside corner. Really not that bad of a pitch to most, but Altuve hits it out of the park. That's a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and Altuve makes us pay.
Early lead for the Astros. And there's a strike called on Carlos Correa. When you got guys the size of Altuve going the opposite field on home runs, that's pretty special. Number 18 for Altuve. Correa looks at a strike, and the count is 0-2.
Now for the Tigers and Matt Boyd, just got to move on. It's 2-0. Best time to not have the lead is in the top of the first inning. Got all these 9 innings to catch up and take the lead.
1-2 on Correa, batting .268, 15 home runs for the reigning Rookie of the Year in the American League. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
This Houston team, they got some players.
They sure do, and a lot of them are good young players like Springer, Altuve, Correa. The kid they just called up, Alex Bregman, who's playing in the ball game tonight. Here's a high drive to center field. That ball is hammered. Cameron Maben going back, has room though, and center field will swallow that one up. 2 gone. It'll bring up Evan Gattis. Boyd had been having a really good month of July. Coming in the last month, he was in 3 starts, posting an ERA of 1.17. So his last 3 were good.
In his starts here, he doesn't really give up home runs at Comerica, so that was a little different.
Gaddis looks at a strike. Here's an old school guy, doesn't wear batting gloves. Chokes up a little bit on the bat.
Love his nickname. Did you hear what it was?
No.
The White Bear.
The White Bear. Big strong guy. He's just started catching recently again.
Actually been pretty good at catcher, throwing out over 40% of the base stealers. A little rough on the blocking, so Tigers will want to be ready for that.
2-1 on Gaddis. 221 hitter, but like many of the other hitters in this lineup, good power. 17 long balls. Swing and a miss. 2-2 on Gaddis.
Good changeup right there.
So I'm trying to remember, you didn't wear batting gloves, did you?
Oh yeah, I wore one glove.
One glove.
Because it was either that or lose my hand, because I gripped it a little tighter than you're supposed to.
Inside, 3-2.
You can see Salty setting up inside. He's trying to get that ball up and into Gaddis, and Matt's yanking those pitches. You have to make a little mechanical adjustment, find his rhythm. Going fastball away here.
And he misses. Oh, we got him. Strike 3 in the inside corner. Second strikeout to Boyd. But the Astros score first in this one. Jose Altuve goes the other way. 2-run shot. 2-0 Houston. Go to the bottom of the first inning, down 2-0. Tigers starting lineup features Ian Kinsler at the top, and it's brought to you tonight by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Kinsler, Maven, Cabrera in the top 3 spots. Cam missed the last 4 games. Back in there tonight. Victor is DHing, then Castellanos and Upton, and a bottom 3 of Collins, Saltalamacchia, and Iglesias, and they are facing the right-handed slants of Colin McHugh.
Colin McHugh, fastball, cutter, lots of cutters, lots of curveballs. His fastball, he leaves arm side a lot. The cutter he uses to get it back on the plate, in the curveball as well. You can see the numbers right there. 19-game winner last year for the Astros.
Ian Kinsler gets it started for the Tigers. The first one home is a strike right at the knees.
You know, this guy, he's not going to impress on the radar gun, but he pitches a bit now.
28 years old, out of Naperville, Illinois. Colin McHugh. A strike on the outer edge. Now it's 0-2, and Kinsler can't believe that last call.
Well, we were talking about the Fox tracks, and this will give you an opportunity to compare. That ball's off the plate. You would think that some of those pitches earlier in the top of the inning, he was not calling that a strike. So when you're a hitter, you're trying to figure out the zone. So right now it appears a little off. You better get on it.
Ian with 20 home runs this year. He had 8 hits on the recent road trip. He's been one of the better leadoff man in terms of runs scored. He is second in the league. That's pulled and right by a diving Bregman to the left, and it's a leadoff single for Kinsler.
Let's take a look at the Astros starting defense, brought to you by Tim Hortons. Left field, Colby Rasmus, Jake Marisnick in center, George Springer in right. Alex Bregman looking for his first hit in the major leagues at third. Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve up the middle, Marwin Gonzalez over there at first, and Evan Gattis the catcher. Take a look at Kinsler right here. After that 0-2 count, stood in there, got a pitch to hit with the leadoff single for the Tigers here in the bottom of the first.
So here is Cameron Maybin back in the lineup. He had a bit of a sore back toward the end of that road trip, and he'll look at a strike. And I know that Brad, at least in some kind of small way, must have been intrigued on keeping Jose Iglesias in the 2 spot because he was shining so much offensively in Boston. But Maybin has been his guy, and so he goes right back into the 2 spot. That's lofted into right field. That'll drop, base hit. Kinsler rounds the back, headed to third. He's going to fly in there safely, and the Tigers in business early.
That's beautiful. One name that comes to my mind when I see that is Alan Trammell. He was the best at it, and this is beautiful. This is right off the end of the bat. Cam Maybin's been out for 4 games. Hits the ball off the end of the bat, nicely placed. Kinsler easily on to third. We got a first and third, nobody out.
Now the Bernstein advantage brings you the pitcher-batter matchup as Miguel Cabrera strolls in. Here are his career numbers against McHugh.
Yeah, they're good. 4 for 8, 2 doubles. Mickey's been hot and really staying on the ball better, and obviously had a huge series on the road trip to help propel the Tigers to the 5-2 record,
including the 2-out solo shot in the 9th inning.
Off the wall.
Off the top of the wall and into the bullpen.
Beauty.
That gave the Tigers the sweep. Tigers bullpen really performed well in that series.
Justin Wilson filling in for K-Rod, got the job done.
Bender drops in 0-1.
That's pretty filthy right there, huh?
That was a pretty good pitch.
It's not what you're looking for with first and third and nobody out. Miggy correctly took that pitch. You'll notice the pitcher, especially the guys that have got a couple years in, they're going to throw the kitchen sink at you in these situations.
In on his hands that time.
We're talking about the road trip. Miggy had a good one. 5 go-ahead RBI to go with the .478 average. 3 home runs and 7 RBI. 11 for 23.
He had 2 really good games in Chicago. The last 2 were not so good, and then he really went off in Boston. First and third, nobody out. Tigers trail 2-0. Trying to answer the Altuve homer. Fouled straight back. McHugh as well, coming off a really good month of July. His ERA 2.66 last month, was 2-1. Astros this year have gotten really good performances out of their bullpen. Oh, 0-2 on Cabrera. And he looks at a ball outside that just barely missed the outside corner.
Yeah, McHugh wanted that. You can see it's just off the corner. Mickey gets the call.
It's about as close as you can get without having it called a strike.
Well, Gattis pulled that up about a foot. Did you see that?
I did.
That tells you, doesn't it? Wasn't a strike.
The 1-2. Good block there. Maybin, though, will go to second base.
Good read by Cam right there. I was talking earlier about Gattis. A little rough on the blocking part of it, but he does a good job of getting down. But a good catcher, they try to keep it right in front of you, but Maybin doesn't matter. He's off right as soon as he sees it hit the dirt. That's a good dirt ball read.
Now a base hit probably gets a couple of runs to tie the game. Early trouble for McHugh. Boyd gave up the 2-run homer to Altuve, but the Tigers trying to get him a couple back.
Got to come back to that curveball somewhere.
And he loops it foul back out of play. Thing came in at 73 miles an hour.
There it was. That's he got the first pitch strike, but he showed it to Miggy, and this was the second time he saw the curveball, so he got a piece of it.
Kinsler started with a single. Maben singled. Wild pitch, advanced Cameron.
Fastball in.
High fly ball right field. Springer backs up, lines it up. Runner will tag at third. That's Kinsler, and he will come home. It's a sac fly RBI for Cabrera. 2-1 ball game.
Good job by Miggy. He went to school early on. Got behind 0-2. Curveball, fastball up and in, and Q came right back to that sequence. Miggy gets Kinsler in from third base, and this is the AL Central standings. Detroit gaining 2 grounds on that 2 games on that last road trip. Now only 4.5 back from Cleveland. Chicago 8.5 back. Kansas City 9. Minnesota, of course, way back. Cleveland's got to be feeling the pressure a little bit. They're coming back to reality a bit.
Absolutely. Tigers trailed by 7.5 on July the 1st. So here's Victor Martinez now. And he drives one in the air to right. Springer is on the run. That ball is over his head up against the wall. Maben had to stop, and he's going to hold up at third. Wasn't sure if Springer was going to catch that thing, but it was hit over his head. It is a long single for Victor Martinez.
The rule, if you're on second base, if there's no out, you must tag. If there's 1 out, you must score. And Maben got mixed up right here, but Victor jumping on this, and looked like it had some topspin on it, and that was going to be caught by Springer, but it wasn't. And the Tigers now first and third, 1 down.
So the Tigers now have 3 hits against McHugh here in the first inning. We'll bring up Castellanos. Nick batting .292. He'll drive one to center field. That's going to drop, base hit. Maben scores, and just like that, it's a 2-2 ball game. That didn't take long.
No, the Tigers are doing a good job with the breaking ball. McHugh trying to get that first pitch strike. Nick was watching from the dugout when he tried that on Miggy. He waits on it. I talked to Castellanos before the game about how he's become so good at the breaking ball. And he utilized his what he's learned right there. Stays through the ball. Tigers tied up first and second, still only 1 down.
4 hits in the inning, 56 RBIs for Castellanos. Still only 1 out. Upton swings and misses 0-1. Justin batting .233. He's had only 1 hit career against McHugh. That was a home run.
We'll take another one.
He's got 11 of them on the year. The 0-1 pitch. Another bender that drops low.
Again, you can see McHugh likes that breaking ball when he gets men in scoring position. Of course, I'm sitting here looking into that glove. Is that a knuckle curve he's throwing, where they raise the knuckle to make the ball spin?
How is it give you that some guys just struggle in the first inning? McHugh's ERA is over 7 in the first inning this year.
Well, one of the theories that I hear is they don't practice out of the stretch enough, because they warm up the whole time out of the windup, and they do throw some out of the stretch, but then all of a sudden you get pressure, you get a guy on, and you got to throw out of the stretch, and you just can't find your rhythm.
Never heard that theory, but it makes sense.
But you know, who knows? I know many people. 17 runs allowed in the first inning and 21 starts. They've tried warming up, sitting down, warming up some more. They try it all, but the more you talk about it in a negative fashion, it seems like the more it grows.
Here's the 3-1. Upton swings and pops it up. First baseman Gonzalez for out number 2.
Pretty good fastball there, 2-seamer type. Just AJ up. Got in on his hands.
That'll bring up Tyler Collins now with 2 outs. Well, Collins is batting just .178 this year. He has had some big at bats since returning from Toledo, including a bases loaded walk in Game 2 of the Boston series, which turned out to be the game winner for the Tigers. And he'll take strike 1.
Made a nice throw there in that Boston series as well. Got behind it, picture perfect. Good teaching tool if you had a chance to see it. Show it to some of your youngsters. Got behind it, took his time, made a nice accurate throw.
Another one that floats in, breaking ball missing. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2-2 score. RBIs for Cabrera and Castellanos here in the first inning. Now the 1-1.
We were talking about Tyler Collins. Here it is. He stays behind it. Nice hop. Gets over top of it. Perfect hop to McCann. Some arm strength there. He's on the throwing program. That was a big run.
Was a thing of beauty. Michael Fulmer appreciated it. Here's the 1-2. And Collins goes down swinging to end the inning. But a good inning for the Tigers. They're able to tie it up. And they do so on 4 hits. Leave a couple of men. We go to the second. This series with the best record in the major league since May the 23rd, and here's a little breakdown of their season so far.
Well, the numbers, they tell the tale, don't they? I mean, the starters ERA is better, the bullpen ERA is better, batting average, the runs scored per game, and 38 and 18. And a lot of people are looking at this Houston Astros team and thinking, oh, that was a fluke last year, but they proved that is not the case.
Here is Colby Rasmus to lead it off. He drills the first pitch from Boyd to left center field. Upton is on the run. He'll get there at the warning track. That ball was hit hard by Rasmus. 1 gone.
Yeah, both teams feeling fresh tonight. Swinging the bats aggressively early in this game. This ball takes off a little bit on JF, but looks it in.
It's a pretty good example there of how, with Upton playing so deep, it came in handy on that play.
Well, we've seen that a lot throughout the year. JF definitely plays deep. I think we've come out ahead by him playing deep. he feels more comfortable coming in on the ball, so he's adjusted his position pre-pitch.
So a strike called on Alex Bregman, who is the top overall prospect in baseball, was recently called up, and his minor league numbers are really impressive. 20 homers. Boyd drops in a strike, 0-2. Bregman is still looking for his first major league hit. He is 0 for 9. He'll drive that one down the right field line, but foul.
You know, when you come up to play in the big leagues, it's very exciting, if one might imagine. When you have the hype behind it, you always feel like you have to live up to something, and it's really not fair, but it's the way it goes. And this Alex Bregman has been talked about very highly around the league. Hopefully we can hold him down in this series.
Ooh, way outside of the backstop. 1-2 on Bregman. Played his college ball at LSU, so he is from a major college program, and I'm sure played in front of a lot of big crowds there. Now Boyd with the 1-2 pitch. Down the left field line, hooking, foul. Boyd surrendered a double to Gonzalez in the first, and then a home run to Altuve.
I just want to make sure this Fox tracks remains accurate here. I saw a mistake here. We want to call it out, don't we?
Absolutely.
I'll just put a little dot where it should be.
Okay.
Number 4 should maybe be over here. That was so far outside.
It was so far out it didn't even register.
It's not fair. Threw a wrinkle.
2-2. Here's the 2-2 on the way, and it's fouled back out of play. Bregman batting with 1 out here. Tyler White is waiting on deck for the Astros.
In general, when you're a young player and you're coming up to the big leagues, I think they like to see if you can hit the fastball, but most likely you're going to see a lot of off-speed pitches, chase pitches.
Nubbed off the end of the bat towards second base. Kinsler.
Change up there.
2 gone. By the way, stay tuned to Tigers Live following the game. We select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites, now being served all day. What do you got
today?
Today.
I'm going to go with Miggy again.
Are you? I'm going to go with Saltalamacchia.
Right in the hot hand.
Only because I like saying his last name. 2 outs. There's a strike call.
That's where I like nicknames for Salty.
Salty.
Yeah. Do you like spelling Saltalamacchia?
No, I struggle with that.
How many letters?
14, which is the longest in Tigers history. That's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
We got to get our statistician on longest in baseball history.
I think this might be it. Don't quote me on that, but I think 14 is the record. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Tyler White. I'm being told that yes, it is the longest in baseball history.
Wow. Making history in Detroit.
Here's the 1-2. Popped up mile high, middle of the infield. Who wants it? Kinsler does. And Boyd rebounds nicely with a 1-2-3 second. Still a 2-2 ball game.
Bell tire pitch by pitch happened back in April, actually April 16th. Salty up against McHugh, a big 5-pitch at bat. You can see a good battle right there. Breaking ball down, he throws the cutter up and in, and Salty takes him off the pole. 2-run home run that gave the Tigers the lead at the time, 4-3. Guess who the first hitter is?
That would be Saltalamacchia. And all 14 of his letters on his back as he looks at a strike 0-1.
If you had to say that fast 5 times.
I can try it.
Don't you try. It was just the people at home we don't want to make.
It would be a mess. There's a bouncer to second. Altuve has it. And Saltalamacchia is out of there, 1 gone.
Maybe some good therapy for me, though.
Yeah, could be, actually. So the Tigers have the longest name in the history of the game. You also know that they have the shortest as well. Can you name that name?
Can I get an inning or half an inning?
I'll go, yeah, absolutely. I can't just drop that out.
Playing dirty pool today.
I'll give you a full inning. But you can't look it up, though.
I won't look it up. I'll just go back to President Keating, see if he knows. Can I ask the audience?
No. No help allowed. Here's Iglesias. Ground ball, base hit, left field. Iggy not wasting any time tonight.
Well, he's been hot. Swinging the bat really good as of late.
Yeah, he had 5 hits in that Boston series, including a home run that left Fenway Park.
Over the monster.
Here's Ian Kinsler.
This is like 3 letters?
Nope.
4?
Nope.
1?
Well, it can't be 1. So what's left? 2.
2 letters.
2-letter last name.
You caught me in another task and you pulled the switcheroo on me, but I'm digging.
All right. Runner bluffs at first, and a strike called on Kinsler. Kinsler had a single and scored a run in the first. And by the way, folks in the truck can't be feeding you the answer on this.
Trust me, they asked me if I wanted it. I'm not doing it.
See, I know the look on your face. Here's the 0-1. Driven to center field. Shallow, and it's going to drop. Base hit. Good read by Iglesias. He'll get to third safely. It gets by the third baseman. That'll allow Kinsler to go to second.
This is an outstanding read by Iggy right here. You know, when you're sitting in a ballpark, we all have different depth perceptions of what's going on, and Iggy obviously had a good one here. Going to take a look right here. Is he going to catch it? Is he not going to catch it? But watch Iglesias. There he goes. He sees it all the way. He knows he's not going to catch it. Still, Rasmus comes in and makes a pretty good throw, but it gets wild. Iggy possibly could have made it to home, but you don't really know how it's going to bounce and ricochet off of the fence over there, so he makes the safe play. We have second and third now, 1 down.
That is 6 hits already for the Tigers against McHugh. Maben cuts and misses 0-1.
He's going to keep going to that breaking ball. Cam Maben hitting .413 with runners in scoring position, so we should be in good shape here.
Single, by the way, advancing on the throw. That's how Kinsler got to second.
That's E8.
No, they're not calling an error. They're just simply saying he advanced on the throw to third. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2-2 game, but the Tigers threatening again here against McHugh in the second. A.J. Hinch in his second season as the manager of the Astros.
Marwin Gonzalez right here is taking the bunt away. Look at the infield alignment up the middle and in at the corner at third.
1-2.
So if you're the Tigers, you're going on contact. You have 1 out. Even if they throw home to get Iggy at home, you still have Kinsler moving over to third. You'd have first and third with 2 outs. So they're going to bring the infield in now with 2 strikes.
Stayed back on the breaking ball and fouled it straight back. You've seen a lot of those already in this game from McHugh.
Especially when you have the runners in scoring position.
HOU last year, career highs in wins, innings pitched, strikeouts.
Over 200 innings, 19 wins.
Maben slaps it fair down the first base line. This will get 2 runs in. Cameron motoring to second. He's in sliding with a double. And the Tigers have a 4-2 lead. I guess the 4 days off didn't matter for him.
No, he's fresher than he has been in a while. This is a straight at bat. You know he's got to guard against the breaking ball, so you're going to let the ball travel just a little deeper in the zone. He gets the fastball here. He's got such a quick path to the ball this year that he just puts the barrel on the ball down there in the corner for a double. Scores 2. Tigers now lead 4-2.
Time to eat.
Yep.
So here is Cabrera now. That 2-0 deficit disappeared quickly as Miggy cuts and misses. I would think there's going to come a time, Kirk, when you start looking at the straight chart for Maben, that they will start swinging him the other way. He has hit a lot of balls to right field.
You know, it depends how you filter the information. If you go back just probably a month or so, you would probably be right. You see Cam Maben's trying to time him up there.
Hammer to center field, base hit. That'll get another run in. Maben rounding third. He will score, and Cabrera keeps the hit parade going. 5-2 Tigers.
Miggy's getting hot. He's pulling the ball right here. There you see the 2-seamer. Doesn't get in like he wants it. Miggy barrels it. He just looks way more comfortable up there. A couple of weeks ago, you were looking at him trying to hit everything to right field, but now he's just standing upright, getting the ball to all field. 2 more runs score.
62 RBIs now for Cabrera.
2 already in this game.
Fans, don't forget you can go to every Tigers home game in the month of August for just $95 with the August digital ballpark pass. 19 games for just $95. If you'd like to order your August ballpark pass, visit tigers.com/pass. Well, McHugh had gone 7 straight starts, allowing 3 earned runs or fewer. That has come to a crashing halt tonight. 5-2 Tigers lead. And a strike called on Victor Martinez.
With this Astros team, though, they have a ability to come back, so you got to keep piling it on. You can see, even though it's 5-2, no action in the Astros bullpen.
The 0-1. No balls, 2 strikes. Tigers have 8 hits and 12 at bats so far in this game. And Matt Boyd, who surrendered the early 2-run homer, has watched his teammates pick him up. And that one gets away from Gaddis. That'll advance the runner. So move Cabrera now into scoring position. This is back to what you were talking about the blocking abilities here of Gaddis.
It's a tough block, but better catchers in the league, they're going to keep that ball right in front of them. And that's about a 56-footer right there. That's no easy task for any catcher, to be fair to Gaddis.
Now 1-2 on Victor Martinez. Inside, almost hit him.
You know, last time I was on back in the Minnesota series, we were trying to point out just certain plays. It's like winning baseball plays, and the dirt ball reads would be another one in that category. You know, it's just you have to anticipate it. You know who's pitching. You know he throws the breaking ball in the dirt. You know Gaddis is catching. You have to be off immediately. The Tigers have gotten 2 dirt ball reads already this game.
A 2-2 is pulled on the ground to second. Altuve has it. Runner will advance. That is the second out of the inning. Chris Davinsky was warming up and is warming up for the Houston Astros. Now Castellanos with 2 outs. Nick, an RBI single in the first. Tigers have their hitting shoes on tonight. 5 runs on 8 hits.
Don't take them off.
And Castellanos looks at a strike 0-1.
Nick hit the first pitch, a breaking ball in his first at bat, and he gets the heater this time. Just taking all the way.
Nick grounds it toward third. Fair ball deep behind the bag. Going to be a tough play. He is safe at first base. And a run will score. The Tigers have added another 6-2 ball game.
Sure, Houston's going to look at this one.
Bregman deep behind the bag made a really good play and a strong throw. We'll see if the Astros want to challenge.
Bregman right here goes far to his right. Looked like it was going to hit the bag. Gets rid of it quickly as well. Nick legs it out pretty good. But he's not a third baseman by trade. But can't see from that angle. Looks like he's in there.
Astros have decided not to challenge, and so it'll be an RBI for Nick. That was close.
See how that toe came down right on the front of the bag? That's the difference. Another one of those things. If you can do it like that, that's the quickest way to the bag.
Castellanos down with 2 RBIs tonight. Justin Upton, the batter. Missed it outside. 2-0.
The last time it was a 2-1 count, I believe, on Jay Up. The Astros went fastball inside. See if they try to do the same. He's going away this time.
Two balls, 1 strike on Upton. 6-2. Tigers have added 4 here in the second. McHugh's pitch count is already up to 46 now.
When you get hooked up in a series with any team, it's always good in the first game if you get into that bullpen early. Number one, you get to see the pitchers, so it'll help you obviously later in the series. Number two, you want to get it to where you wear that pin out a little bit. They are less effective. You make them throw more pitches in a short span of time.
And this is a Houston bullpen that has been very good. Second behind only the Dodgers in ERA. Pulled foul.
Ooh. Somebody lost their popcorn over there.
But gained a baseball.
Yeah. Good glove.
2-2 on Upton. Tigers sent 7 men to the plate in the first, 8 men to the plate here in the second. Down the right field line, slicing away from Springer, and back out of play.
Got the fastball there. Jay up again. Another good job of 2-strike hitting right there. Letting the ball travel much deeper, making sure, confirming it's not a breaking ball, and fouling that pitch off. Had a pretty good swing on the previous pitch. He pulled a foul on the breaking ball. So when you're the pitcher, they're thinking, oh, he's sitting on the breaking ball. They come back with the fastball. J.F. spoils. There's that fastball inside right here.
Pulled on the ground and through, base hit. Castellanos will go to second, and it's been kind of an unbelievable start for the Tigers offense tonight.
It's kind of a hit rate, and that's going to be it for McHugh.
He will not survive the second inning. Tigers had 10, count them, 10 hits. And it's a wall side windows pitching change. McHugh is bounced out in the second. on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. And by Jeep, the official vehicles of summer, celebrating 75 summers of living 4x forever. Well, it's a good start to the homestand to be sure. The Tigers have 6 runs on 10 hits. And we're not even out of the second inning tonight. As Tyler Collins stands in, the 9th man to bat in the inning. And the first one is low from Davinsky, the right-hander who takes over.
Yeah, Chris Davinsky, fastball, curveball, lights out change there. He's got 27 games. He has started for ERA of 2.19, 55 strikeouts, 16 walks. I mean, he's got a great changeup, one of the best in the league. This kid was Double-A last year down in Corpus Christi. He was the Hooks pitcher of the year. And I talked to A.J. Hinch before the game, and he said this kid has really got good stuff here in his roll out of the bullpen.
Swing and a miss, 1-2. None of the 17 inherited runners have scored to this point against Chris Davinsky. 25 years old out of Cerritos, California.
Tyler Collins is all about 80% off-speed pitches in his first 2 at-bats. They're going to keep throwing to him as well.
And Gaddis tries to block that one, can't do it. That'll advance Castellanos to third. Wild pitch.
Tigers doing pretty good with runners in scoring position as of late, and tonight 5 for 8, season 271.
Swing and a drive, deep right field, way back and gone. Collins hit that one a mile. And the Tigers get 3 more runs. That, ladies and gentlemen, was a long ball. And they have blown this one wide open. 9-2 Tigers.
I was referencing all the off-speed pitches that Tyler had seen in his first 2 at-bats. Makes a great adjustment. It's 83 miles an hour. He just gets it all. Like you say, this is way out. We're going to see the length of this one. But he got it all. He knew right away. Tigers off to a 9-2 lead in the second inning. Just adjust your scorebook.
The line is complete now on McHugh, and he is going to be charged with 8 of the 9 runs. And that look says it all for the most part. 423 feet on the homer. There's a ball high to Saltalamacchia. 1 ball, 1 strike. Salty started the inning by grounding out. There's another bouncing ball to second, right at Altuve. And that'll end the inning. But a big inning for the Tigers indeed. It's capped off on the home run by Collins. But the Tigers in this inning posting 7 runs on 6 hits. Collins had the big low late, and the Tigers up 9-2. All right, Jeff.
We have
been lifting tonight, man. 9 runs on 11 hits for the Tigers, and Matt Boyd enjoying all of this offense as he goes back to work here in the third, facing Jake Marisnick, the number 9 hitter for the Astros. Marisnick, Springer, and Gonzalez, 9-1-2 in the lineup, and that ball is belted in the air to left field. It's hit well to the track, to the wall, and gone. A home run for Marisnick, and the Astros get one back.
Looked like a breaking ball right there that Marisnick stayed back on nicely. Looks like the ball's traveling for both sides early in this game. Just left it up, out over the plate, barrels it. He's trying to bury that probably down and in a little more. Now makes it 9-3.
Only the second of the year for Marisnick. It's a ball high to George Springer. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Drilled toward left center field. That ball will get down. It's a base hit. Upton plays it on a couple of hops and a single for Springer. Well, let's check in with the third member of our broadcast crew tonight. Our good friend Simo Craig Monroe joining us from the camera well down in the field. And Craig, it's been a pretty good start offensively for this team tonight.
It truly has, and I'm excited about being down here with you guys and getting an opportunity to hopefully add something to the show. I love the fact that the guys are swinging the bats extremely well. I talked to several of the guys today before the game, and they talked about McHugh having the cutter, fastball moving away from him, so it's going to be important for them to stay on the baseball, use the big part of the field. Well, they're doing exactly that. They're putting on a laser show so far.
They are indeed, as Marwin Gonzalez stands in. And Gibby, I mean, this is when you talk about approaches, the Tigers have been as good as it possibly can be.
Well, I just know there's a good positive energy as the Tigers came back today in the locker room before the game. The media session, a lot more media, a lot more positive questions, and it makes the guys feel good. And it's good when they can go out and take it onto the field and have good results. Now, having Simo down there is going to be good, and he knows what to do down there. But if I know Simo, he's going to get closer and closer. He'll be in the dugout in about 2 or 3 days.
With the bat and the uniform on?
Well, he'll sneak down there and get a little more information, get some inside information down there, Simo. Did you hear me?
Yes, sir.
What do you got on that, Simo? You going to suit up?
Well, I mean, I'm ready. They say I look the part, but I'm not sure if I can get in there and do what these guys are doing right now. Bat might be a little too slow right now, Mario.
Yeah. We'll give you a couple of days in the cage.
Those good-looking threads on it slow that bat down.
I just try hard, guys. I just try hard.
Simo's my boy.
All right, buddy. We'll be checking in with you here in this next couple of innings. Get your insights on what's going on down there. So keep your ear to the dugout, will you?
I will. I'm excited. I'm excited. Thank you guys for having me.
You bet. 9-3 is our score. The Tigers over the Astros here. Marwin Gonzalez had a double and scored a run his first time up. 9 runs, 11 hits for Detroit. 3 runs on 4 hits for Houston. Boyd had a 1-2-3 second, but has surrendered 2 hits here in the third.
You're Matt Boyd, even though you've got a 9-3 lead, you got to treat it like it's a tie game. And Springer over there on first base does have 6 steals, has been caught 7 times. So you got to treat it like it's a close game. You can't let your guard down, let that Houston Astro team start to feel it and get back in this game.
Here's the 2-1. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good changeup right there. Gonzalez way out in front. You can see that, watch him turn it over. So far, it looks like Matt Boyd has been up in the zone a little bit more than he wants to with his off-speed secondary pitches.
Now the 2-2 toward right field, but foul. Well, it's an Astros team that will hit a lot of home runs, and they've hit 2 already here tonight, but they also strike out quite a bit. In fact, they lead the American League in strikeouts. So it's in many ways been an all or nothing offense for A.J. Hinch in his second year as the Astros manager.
Well, A.J. Hinch was told it wouldn't last year, wouldn't get into the playoffs, but
yeah.
They did have staying power, and they believe they can do it again this year.
Now the 2-2 again. Swing and a miss. He struck him out top of the zone. Third strikeout for Boyd. Well, Menards brings you the big money encounter tonight. Since 2014, what do you got here on these hit totals?
Well, Altuve, he's out there by 70 some hits, 568. Ian Kinsler right behind him though, 494. That's pretty good company. These guys both play a lot. They're durable. They play when they're hurt as well. And Altuve just keeps getting better as well as Ian Kinsler does too.
Well, that's the aspect of Kinsler's game that I absolutely love. He can literally go out there every day. Obviously, he'll get a rest every now and then, but you know, he's one of those gamers, and Altuve fits the mold as well. They're out there every single day.
Just think, before Ian Kinsler was on the Tigers team, what you thought of him as a player, and I'm sure that you all appreciate him that much more, because you just see day in and day out how much he brings it, and the consistency that he plays with. 50 pitches so far, 30 of them strikes for Matt Boyd.
One ball, no strikes on Altuve. Two-run homer to the opposite field back in the first. Ball high, 2-0.
This is not the guy you want to get behind in the count to. It was behind last time. He hit the home run, a two-run shot. Finds himself 2-0 here in the second at bat, with Springer on first base.
In there, a strike call, 2-1. Altuve's home run was his 18th of the year. There goes the bat.
That pine tar not very good for that Astro team. That's the second bat they've lost.
I think they need a new batch. This batch is defective.
This one doesn't go in the stands. Right around behind it just kind of shows you how long Altuve hangs on to the bat before he releases his pressure.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch bats and balls.
Be alive down there, Simo, down to the camera well. You still have the reflexes, don't worry. Boyd ready now with the 2-2. Bouncing ball foul, third base side.
Kind of have a Fox Sports Detroit sweepstakes going. We had Shep, we got Keats, right? Trevor. Trev.
I got cat-like reflexes though, Gibby. It's gonna be a little different down here.
Yeah, I hope so.
Heads on a swivel, ready to go, make a play. That's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah, you know, when you're on the baseball field, you never take your eye off of the ball.
Absolutely not.
Now, by cat-like, do you mean the rotund ones that sit on the couch all day?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. There's a chopper left side of the infield. Iglesias, he'll get the out at second. Nicely done by Iggy.
And a good job by Ian not to even think about turning that double play right here. This is you know you only got one. Make sure you catch it if you're Iggy, and make sure you keep your foot on the bag if you're Kinsler. Just get off the bag. Think you're out.
This is what I'm getting to see. Yes.
How'd that look from over there, Simo? Good set and throw.
Absolutely. I love watching Iggy at shortstop. I like how he got around that baseball too, and delivered a strike to Ian Kinsler at second. Smart play by Kinsler though. Recognized he couldn't turn a double play.
Carlos Correa stands in, looks at ball one. Correa flying to center field back in the first. He is 0 for 1. 9-3. Tigers have the early lead in this one, game one, in what should be a good 3-game series here at the ballpark. High towering drive to center field. That ball is hit well. Maben going back to the track in front of 420 to make the catch. Correa hit a bomb to center, but not in this ballpark, young man. They'll get 1 run in the Marisnik homer. It's now 9-3. As we go to the bottom of the third, Jose Iglesias will lead things off. Here's the Chevy Silverado most dependable player, and it's going to be Iglesias who, after a bit of a slow May, in April has really turned it on.
He has good consistent play, more like he was a 300 hitter last year. You see him batting average since starting slowly early, 304, on base percentage up there where it belongs, extra base hits, 27 runs.
First one is right at the knees for a strike, 0-1. Iglesias a single and a run scored in the second. Now the 0-1 pitch on the ground to the shortstop. Correa, backhanded scoop. Nice play, one gone.
Boy, somebody just came in the booth here. He got a lot of pretty perfume on. Hey, Keating? He needs it. He needs it. Pretty good play by Correa. He's smooth. He's a real youngster, but gets around with the backhand, throwing on the run, very accurate. Gets Iggy easily.
By the way, when it's a man wearing it, it's called cologne, not perfume.
Well, it smells like perfume, though. I got a cologne joke, by the way.
Is it suitable? Probably not. Anyway, here's Kinsler.
Might be edgy. We'll just leave it at that. Imagination.
Let's move along here.
Boy, you're thinking wrong. I was going to come with it, but man, sensitive today.
2 for 2 for Kinsler, a couple of singles. Anytime you have to hesitate to figure out whether or not it's suitable or not, it's not. It's just a general rule.
So, you want to play it safe all of a sudden?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah. I like my job too much.
Simo, he knows what I'm talking about.
I love it. I love how Gibby is. Mario, he doesn't care. He'll say anything. That's how he was when he was in the dugout as a bench coach with Tremble. He doesn't care.
Well, he's also Kirk Gibson. He doesn't have to care.
No, I care now. Come on.
Oh,
look out. Pulled foul right by Simo and the camera well.
See, Simo, watch it. Now, Simo, now, seriously, men's cologne sometimes borders women's perfume. Will you agree with that? Simo,
I'm going to have to disagree with you on that.
Well, I walked by Simo today. He's smelling good, too, now.
Perfumish or cologne-ish?
I guess one of the symptoms of Parky is that you lose your sense of smell, so I'm wrong. You're right.
Yeah, I put a little Creed on today, a little Ventus, you know. Figured I needed
How about
to
you,
smell
Mario?
well.
That's all gibberish to me. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
So I put on Burberry Touch.
Oh,
nice.
That's a good one, too, Gibby.
Here's a drive to left field, sinking and caught by Rasmus. 2 up, 2 down here in the third. That'll bring up Cameron Maybin. Maybin with a 2-run double in the second. Simo, what do you got on Maybin this year? It's really noticeable that he has really elevated his game simply by going the other way this season.
Well, he got posed a question last year from his hitting instructor, Kevin Seister, and he asked him, what kind of hitter do you want to be? He said that he had speed. You can impact the game in so many different ways. And he said, you got to get on base more. And so he shortened his swing, and he's not trying to hit home runs. And he told me the other day, he said, I can hit homers. I can hit them just as far as everybody else. But, Craig, that's not my game, not on this team. I just need to hit line drives and get on base and cause some havoc.
Well, and that's a good point, especially as you say on this team, because this team has Kinsler, Cabrera, Martinez, Castellanos, Upton. These guys can all leave the park. And they need someone on base, and Maybin has done a great job of that.
Mario, I love his excitement. When I talk to Cam, his excitement about being back here in Detroit, putting on that old English D, and it's special to him. And you can tell when you talk to him, his face, his smile lights up. I'm excited for him to be back.
And he's got some energy, just some natural energy, regardless, doesn't he, Simo?
He really does. That's just the person that he is. Very positive, wants to be here, wants to make a difference.
There's a swing and a miss, and down he goes. Well, they got him that time. The 1-2-3 inning ends the third as we go to the fourth. Nate Robertson will join us in the booth as we continue to celebrate the 2006 AL Championship team. Gump Time joins us in the booth next. Our score, the Tigers have the lead as Matt Boyd goes back to work. The Tigers have really provided him with a lot of offense today. As Gaddis fouls off first. Pleasure to be joined by Nate Robertson as we continue to celebrate the 2006 AL Championship team. How you doing, Nate? Everything all right?
I'm back home, man.
You're back home indeed. You look great.
Feels good to be back amongst you guys.
Well, fill us in now. You're in Wichita, I hear. And
yes.
What's going on in Wichita these days?
Well, I'm living there.
Well,
that's something.
But you've got some baseball ties there too, right?
Yeah, well, I'm part owner of an independent team there, and having a lot of fun with that. We just hired on Pete Rose Jr. this year as our manager, doing a great job. We're in first place, winning some ball games. We had Kevin Hooper, a former Tiger, with them, but he's moved on to the Padres organization. So we're doing some fun stuff there.
You a player owner or just an owner?
Oh, you don't. Yeah, playing. Did you see my first pitch? That was awful.
No, it wasn't.
I got it there.
That's right.
Now, so you're an owner, so do you go down and have discussions with your manager like most do?
You know what? I mean, I try to stay away from. He invites me to the clubhouse all the time, but yeah, okay.
Let's see this first pitch here.
Lock it down.
There it is. Lock it down, Nate.
Got him out of the crouch, so had some heat on it.
At least you didn't bounce it like I did.
Gaddis strikes out swinging. One gone.
Oh boy, we're having fun.
All right, well, let's think about 06. You mentioned coming back home, and for a long time this was your home, even in the offseason, Nate. So I know you're really intimate with this community, but when you look back at 06, that was a situation where the team had really struggled to win games in the recent past, and all of a sudden this 06 team bursts onto the scene, and what an experience that had.
Yeah, I mean, I came here in 03, and it was, I think it was the 9th straight losing season, and we knew we had some talent. It just was going to take some time, and just came into a great organization. Got to come alongside guys like Gibby, who was he was a great mentor to me, even though he's one of those hitter guys, but
yeah, tell you how not to give up the bounds.
But I felt like this was a kind of a family atmosphere from the standpoint of a baseball organization, and then 3 years later we're in the World Series, and it just lifted this city up, and it was just a special moment for all of us, and we shared it together, and we'll never forget it for sure.
What one moment though was the turning point in 2006 where you thought, you know what, this really is going to be the year?
Well, as we brought in some veteran guys that mixed with some of the younger talent, and we saw just a great, I guess you'd call it chemistry coming together, and we started winning some ball games, and we had this fiery manager. I
know he makes a big difference. Absolutely.
Oh yes, Jimmy Leland was. He was the glue to all of us. He got all of us to play for each other, for him, the staff, the organization, and. A World Series berth followed.
Nate, I remember going to New York late in the season and doing a couple of radio interviews, and it always seemed like nobody gave the Tigers respect. They thought, yeah, you guys are having a nice little season, but it's probably going to end in the first round against the Yankees, and all of a sudden you beat the Yankees, you beat the Athletics. Did you feel there was a part of maybe the baseball community that didn't give you guys enough respect?
Oh, absolutely. I remember. After we had beaten the Yankees, and I was doing the interview before my start in Oakland, and I said, here we are, we're fielding questions about what went wrong with the Yankees, and I just said I want to sit here and talk about what went right with the Tigers, and we had a lot of great things that happened, and people started giving us that respect.
Yeah, we're watching some footage right here. You get some pretty good outs. Is that? What was the difference that you felt in the playoffs than you did like in the normal? This is your first time, so.
Yeah, it was just the electricity, and just trying to soak in the moment, stepping off the mound and realizing what we were doing. But in the end, just realizing it's another baseball game, and we had to go out there and take care of business like we did all year. And unfortunately, we came up short. But what that season did for so many people, and the stories that I'm hearing while we're here, is it just resurrected the organization, and it just really resurrected the spirit here in Detroit.
0-2 the count on Bregman. Take a ball high, 1-2. We're chatting with Nate Robertson, who's part of the 06 celebration. You had game 1 of the CS, correct, against Oakland?
Yes, I did.
And you pitched well. That had to be a big thrill for you.
Yeah, it was fun. Obviously, I look back, and I had Chiming Wong, who was the Yankees ace, and against in game 1 with the DS, and then in the LCS I had Barry Zito, and then I got Chris Carpenter in the World Series. So
nice.
Thanks, Skip, for that. Those were good draws. But we can't.
But you held your own.
Yeah, we held, and we had a great run, man. I just the best team didn't win there. Just some things didn't happen for us. We got to get some extra outs, and you can't do that in a World Series.
3 balls, 2 strikes at Alex Bregman. The Tigers out in front 9-3 here. A 3-2 pitch.
Now, what I remember off the field was you were one of the few Tigers that stayed here and lived here in the off season, and all those winter workouts. I mean, we made them fun, but it's a lot of hard work that goes into it. And then when you have to get to go to the playoffs in 2006 in the World Series, it really all pays off, doesn't it?
No, absolutely. And to have obviously the facility we had here to come and work out was it was tremendous.
Here's Cabrera in foul ground. He'll squeeze it for the out. Stick around another half inning, Nate.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be back with more with Nate Robertson. Tigers lead this one 9-3. In favor of the Tigers here, game 1 in this series. Chatting with Nate Robertson, part of the 2016 and the 2006 celebration here at Comerica Park all season long. And Nate, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was the most important aspect of your season that year in 06 was gum time, because obviously that's the one thing that you probably you never get tired of talking about. But that that's kind of a cool thing that kind of brings the city together.
Yeah, it was really the fans' rally cry. It was TV magic captured in a moment where I did something we used to do in the little leagues, and I threw in a wad of gum, and they had me on film. They had the audio. Pudge hits a home run, and then we had our gum thing. The Angels had the monkey, we had the gum, right?
So it was your rally. Now, you played your whole career beyond Detroit. You played with 8 different teams. How about the National League? I got to ask you, how about your hit? You remember? Tell me your favorite at bat or your worst.
Thanks, Gibby. Yeah, well, so hitters, we like when the real hitters say I got this guy in the books, that means you got to, he hit a dinger. For me, I got Wainwright and Cole Hamels in the books. Now, they weren't solidly struck hits, but they were hits.
They were base hits.
They went down as base hits. That was no E.
No, they were solidly struck, no doubt. Cabrera leading things off here. We've got one of your teammates in the camera well tonight, Craig Monroe. And Simo, I know that you've got fond memories with your man here, Nate Robertson.
Yeah, I do. And I guess my question is, I brag all the time about how tight of a family we were inside the clubhouse, Nate. And maybe coming from you, it'll just be better. Would you explain to these great Tiger fans the close-knit group that we had inside that clubhouse every single day?
Well, Simo, and you were a great teammate to me, and I appreciate that, man. I just think the word is genuine. Because when guys came to that clubhouse, you know, I know Skip would always talk about winning cures everything, but look, you had to win in the first place. And so I just think that these guys, they pulled for each other, and it was genuine. And every day we came to the ballpark, it just grew. And so there was. I mean, you know, we went to the World Series. If we took last in the division, would it have changed anything? No, because I see a guy like Simo at the ballpark, and you know, it's like it was yesterday, and we embrace, and it was a family.
One out here in the fourth. That'll bring up Victor Martinez here in the 9-3 ball game. And,
hey, Nate, and by the way, I did see this beautiful young lady named Kristen Robertson. And just so you know, she's with a couple friends. And I just happened to give her a real nice hug. And
see,
we embraced each other. And we actually took a picture. So don't be offended when you see the picture of me and this beautiful young lady, okay?
Wow. Simo, how did Nate pull that one off?
He's way over his skis. Trust me, Gibby, when I tell you, he is over his skis.
We all are, aren't we?
Yes, sir.
Simo taking family to the next level, apparently. Down there.
Yeah. Well, shout out to my wife and my kids who are here with me. She wouldn't miss this trip for the world.
I know that you had some teammates that you had to be fond of, but let's talk about some pitchers that obviously were good mentors to you. And I guess you got to start with Kenny Rogers.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just great moves in the offseason that year for the young guys. And I'm talking about me being young, which is crazy because now I got this gray in my beard. But to have Kenny come in and mentor us, be a big brother, it was huge. It was huge for all of us. I mean, we really knew that he was investing in us in spring training when he was going out there and taking extra PFPs in the middle of the day in the heat.
It's hammered to right field, going to get down and go all the way to the wall. Springer will dig it up, and Vimar will pull in with a single.
And so, you know, just having a guy like that for the pitchers, and Todd Jones, who was terrific and taught us so much, you know, and then having the veteran guys like, you know, Pudge Rodriguez and Sean Casey coming in, and it just meshed. It meshed really well, and we had a wonderful time together.
Todd Jones will be at the ballpark here tomorrow, as a matter of fact. I had a chance to see Todd before the game today, but it's really great to see a lot of the old faces. Brandon Inge was here, Pudge Rodriguez was here, and it really does bring back a lot of memories.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Did you get a chance to talk to Humperdinck?
Oh yeah.
Okay, now explain who Humperdinck is.
That's Jim Leland.
Well, okay. The fans out there are sitting there. Engelbert?
No.
What's he doing?
I got that story, and wasn't it Steve Kent that told that story? This was it. Who did Humperdinck come from? Or Peaches, right?
Yeah, you tell the version. Well, we had him in the minor leagues. That's all I really knew him as was Humperdinck.
Yeah, well, I think if any of us called him Humperdinck, you'd punch us in the nose.
Not now, he would.
Oh my gosh.
So where'd it come from? Do we know?
Well, I mean, Dan Petrie, I was in fantasy camp this year, and Peaches has, like, he gave every detail of that story, and I think I was searching for the short version. And
well, go ahead.
I mean, the long version was, I didn't. Was it when he was staying? He was staying with him. Wasn't it? Was it when he was staying with him? You need to help me out, Gibby.
No, I'm going to leave you. We're putting you on the market.
I was still.
You're on the mound again. You got the bases loaded.
Hey, I was still stuck on Humperdinck. I was still trying to figure out, like, how you spell that and stuff when he was telling that story. You know?
Yeah. Well, I can't explain it in the short version as well, but that's what we called him when we were in the minor leagues, and it just comes out of my mouth that way. It's Jim Leland is a really unique, and we've got.
Castellanos
not happy. Let's take a look right here. Better watch it. The umpire will give you a line. He'll draw a line in the sand for you and say that's enough. Do we have that? He said he swung. What do you think, Nate, as a pitcher? Be honest, as a pitcher. He swung
as a pitcher. Oh yeah, he swung. They swing at everything.
Come on, Nate.
Look, I got a new rule too. You know what? Here's the deal. We get 4 balls. Pitchers get 4 balls, and that's it. We don't get extra. So if they foul, if they get to 2 strikes and they foul a ball off, that's strike 3.
Yeah.
You threw 3 strikes, he's out.
Oh, that's some high-scoring rules there.
Here's Justin Upton. He'll look at a ball, though. Hey, Seymour, you hit, what, 5 home runs in that postseason, right? In 06?
I did.
Did you support any of those when Robertson was on the mound? Do you remember that? Did he get any of those?
You know what? I don't think so.
I can't remember.
No?
Either.
I don't think so. No.
I mean, I saved them several times in left field, though. Let's just be clear about that. I mean, I saved them a couple times, diving catches, going up on the wall.
All right, Seymour, thanks. We've got to wish our good friend Nate Robertson
I love you, Bubba.
Hey, all right, buddy. Thanks,
awesome.
Nate.
Good seeing you, buddy.
All right,
Good
the
to be
great
back.
Nate Robertson here for the 06 celebration. There it is. Gum time, everybody. Get your bubble gum.
1, 2,
Keep
3,
going.
4. Attaboy. Tigers win.
Tigers on top 9-3 as we go to the top of the 5th inning now here at the ballpark. Our thanks to Nate Robertson for stopping by. He's part of the 06 celebration here this year at Comerica Park. We mentioned Todd Jones will be at the ballpark tomorrow night as well, so the celebration continues, and great giving to kind of catch up and see these old-time friends of ours that are coming back to a city they love.
Yeah, and you know, when teammates get back together, it seems just like yesterday, and the friendship really and the bond, it never really goes away. Like I said, it's just like yesterday, and Nate's here today. I saw Jonesy today, as you did. He'll be up to visit us tomorrow.
Meanwhile, in this one, 9-3, Matt Boyd has given up a couple of home runs, but the Tigers have supported him with 12 hits and 9 runs in this game. It'll be White, Marisnick, and Springer as we go to the 5th. Boyd fell behind 2-0. Then the Tigers got 2 in the first and 7 in the second. It'll miss low, and it'll be a leadoff walk for Tyler White. Now the Tigers host the Astros tomorrow at 7:10 p.m. and the aforementioned Todd Jones will take part in the pregame Q&A session, part of the season-long celebration of the 10th anniversary of the 06 AL champs. Visit Tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER. Leadoff man on now. Here's Jake Marisnick, who homered in his last at bat. And he'll take a ball outside, which will send Saltalamacchia out to the mound.
Yeah, if you're the Tigers, Boyd is not a guy who's went much further than 5 innings in most of his starts, and you want to make sure you keep control of this game, even though it's 9-3. You walk the leadoff batter, and you get another guy on base, and you allow Houston to get back in this game very quickly. So I think I do see somebody popping up down there in the bullpen, getting loose.
Alex Wilson is tuning up in the Detroit bullpen. 1-1 on Marisnick.
You can tell that's Brad's thought by bringing in Alex Wilson this early in the game. That's not normally where you'd see him pitch, but he knows he can give him the bridge innings that he needs to get through the back end of his bullpen. Obviously, K-Rod in the ninth if he needs them. Green in the eighth somewhere there, and Justin Wilson in the seventh or eighth.
In the air to center field, moving over to his left, Maven.
Oh boy.
One gone. Time out for the home field advantage, brought to you by Lowe's. And you talk about Boyd, home and road. He's been much better at home.
And we're looking at this both in 22 and a third innings. Look at the difference at home. Just much better. 2 ERA, 1 home run allowed, 5 on the road, 182 opponent average, 313 on the road. So doesn't lie. The numbers don't lie. And after walking this leadoff batter, needs to get the double play right here.
0-1 the count on George Springer. Springer's single and a strikeout. Boyd has had a couple of 1-2-3 innings. He has looked sharp at times in this one tonight. And Simo, what do you see on the stuff down there from Matt Boyd tonight?
Well, one of the things Boyd has struggled with is command. Tonight, not too bad. He's attacking the strike zone. I'd like to see him attack the strike zone a little bit more, but it's tough when you have a 9-3 lead. You have to make sure that you're still on the mound trying to be efficient and pitch your ball game. So hopefully he can get back to pounding the strike zone and get us 3 up, 3 down, and get back in the dugout so these guys can swing the bats.
Yeah, the Tigers behind Boyd got a 1-2-3 second in the 4th inning as well. 1-2-3.
Yeah, only 4 of the 11 pitches this inning are strikes.
The 2-1. Fouled straight back. 2-2 on George Springer. A strikeout and a single in this game. Marwin Gonzalez waiting on deck. One of the really good young players on this Houston team, George Springer. Good power, has speed, very athletic guy. Way high, and the count goes 3-2.
Well, if you're Brad Ausmus, you want to try and get Boyd through 5 innings because he's on the docket for a win. But again, you want to make sure you keep this game under control.
Hammered deep to left, but it's going to pull foul down the left field line.
Something else to watch right now, and Simo's down there. He can see this on the field better than we can see it up here. As they got that little twilight going, you got to keep your eyes on the ball. Can you hear me, Simo?
Yes, yes, you definitely can't take your eyes off the ball now. This is a tough time of the day for the outfielders. You have to make sure when that ball hits the barrel of the bat, you have to make sure that you keep your eyes on it, or you will lose it. And we all know what happens there. You look real silly, Gibby.
Yeah, I've done it a bunch of times.
There's a ground ball, foul just outside of the bag at third.
And the other thing is, if you're like, if I was playing center field and Simo was in left, you got to make sure as a center fielder you got to get over there. You got to keep running because Simo may lose the ball. You want to be able to try and help him in case he can't pick it up.
You know, that's one of the things me and Curtis Granderson would do when I play left and he plays center. We would talk about that, Gibbon. I would run over towards center field and just let him know you're right there, just to remind him, even if he saw it or not. I just wanted to always be that safety blanket for him, and just to let him know that I was right there and I was going to watch the ball. I was going to watch it for him.
Now, I'm telling you, it'll happen at least once a year in almost every team where somebody's going to lose the ball and they could need the help. So, you know, when you get down to the end of the season, you're 1 game out. You know, you want to make sure you cover all those little bases, the things that you know, and as you gain experience in the game, you want to make sure you implement them all, so you're not worried about that 1 game at the end of the season.
You're right, Gibby. Communication is so huge. I mean, it's huge in the outfield. It's so important. And a lot of guys, it seemed to me that nowadays guys don't talk enough. But we thought that was like the most important thing, is to talk and know where each other are at on the field.
And it's popped up back out of play. It'll get to the seats.
Because, well, again, when you're sitting in the stands or we're up in the booth or you're watching on TV, you see a ball go up and it seems so routine, but it's not always that way. There are other factors. Sometimes you don't pick the ball up because of twilight, or it gets in the lights, or maybe it's a day game and it gets in the white shirts in the stands. And you just lose it for a second, and then there's a bit of panic that's going through you when you're trying to pick that thing up as well. So you just can't take things for granted.
Craig, were there certain ballparks when you played in the AL that were a little bit more difficult to pick up the ball?
Well, here, to be quite honest with you, at Comerica Park, especially in the Tigers den there, if you're, like Gibby was talking about, a bunch of white Tiger uniforms or Tiger shirts, the ball at times would go up, and I would absolutely lose it, and then at the last minute I would find it. So that's why it's so important to read swings.
That's pulled foul.
I remember the other thing, at every ballpark, there's a little area kind of not deep left center, not too shallow left center, that little mid-range line drive, Simo, that you always go out and find that same spot that you could not see, so you'd play around it.
You have to. Speaking of reading swings, Gibby, one of the things I did in left field was I would, especially right-handers, you have to read their swing. If the bat head is out front, you know they're pulling the baseball, so you know it's coming your way. Oh, and here comes a bat my way right now.
One-handed. Come on.
Seymour, you got to snatch that thing away from the fan. Come on now.
They were quick. You know, the fans,
they were quick.
Yeah, oh, they were real quick over here, Mario. They're quick.
Well, that was a heck of an at-bat that ended up being a 12-pitch at-bat, but it goes down as a strikeout.
There's got to be a good change. Look at Simo running down there. No, he's locked in. He's locked in.
Oh,
he's
no,
ready.
I'm locked in. I told you I got cat-like reflexes down there, Gibby. I'm ready to go, baby.
Garfield the cat. 2 gone now. 9-3 is our score as Boyd delivers a strike to Marwin Gonzalez.
I don't think Simo heard that little Mario dig. He usually just dropped those on me.
Oh, no. I got thick skin, Gibby. I can take it. You helped me get that way. Come on.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about some of those stories. We're doing a little gig tomorrow, I think.
Yes, we are.
We'll talk about some things. I remember one moment really distinctly between you and I.
You do?
Oh, yeah, we can laugh about it now. Here's our high-speed pitch brought to you by Xfinity. 93 for Matt Boyd tonight. The low of 72. That's on the breaking ball. Changeup's been coming in around 80, 83. Curveballs in the mid to low 70s. Fastball low to mid 90s.
0-2 on Marwin Gonzalez. Yanked foul.
Stevo's on that stool down there. You were cat down in the outfield, but you weren't on no stool. You better watch it.
Tigers about hit the Astros tonight 12-4. They lead 9-3. And Matt Boyd trying to get through 5 innings here, about to throw his 99th pitch of the evening. And here it is. And he just missed. Ooh, man, that thing was right in the corner.
Depends where you're going to call it. Fox Tracks picks it up at the front of the plate. Says that it just barely crossed across the strike zone, but does not get the call.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Didn't matter. Struck him out. 6 strikeouts on the night for Boyd. And the Tigers supporting him with 9 runs tonight. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Tigers have the lead here as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning at Comerica Park. Tigers got off to a red-hot start in this one. They scored 2 in the first, 7 in the second. And Matt Boyd, after 100 pitches on the night, may be done. Davinsky goes back to work, and his first one is outside to Tyler Collins. It'll be Collins, Saltalamacchia, and Iglesias. Here's the 1-0. Tyler hit a ball that went 424 feet in his last at bat, a monster home run. His 3rd of the year. They've got him played to pull on the infield. Hammers this one to right on a line, and it's going to get down and split the gap.
Triple at least.
All the way to the wall. That is Triple's alley out there, and here comes Collins to 3rd. He's in with a 3-bagger. What a night for Collins.
He's starting to get some confidence. When he started the season like 0 for not good at all, and of course he had the incident and down to AAA, now back. He's looking athletic and swinging the bat really well. 3-run home run his last at bat. There he gets the ball up the gap for an easy triple. Leadoff triple. It's out of the box real time by Tyler Collins. When he sees it get by the right center fielder right there, you know it's 3 in this ballpark. You just want to make sure you force yourself to keep pumping in case they make a tough throw or not an accurate throw. You can sometimes advance onto home.
Saltalamacchia is up there with the infield in. First triple of the year for Collins. He's had 2 extra base hits tonight.
Yeah, the Astros down by 6. They're not gonna. They can't afford to concede another run.
Wave and a miss. 0-2 on Salty.
Change-ups.
To the count on Saltalamacchia, and a ground ball foul down the first base line. Simo, in a case like this, you got anything on third base coach Dave Clark and his responsibilities down there?
Well, right now he continues to walk over to Tyler Collins, letting him know about every situation. Looking for a ground ball right here by the third baseman. We're going to stand pat. But right now for Salt, it's important to get a pitch up that he can handle. This is situational hitting. And there it is.
Oh, there it is indeed. Deep to center field, way back, and that ball is caught up against the wall by Marisnick. It'll get the run in, but what a running play by Jake Marisnick.
Well, he didn't bail out on it. That's pretty hard when you're running that far as an outfielder. You know you're going straight into the wall, and you kind of get spooked by it because you can feel your feet on the track. You know you probably have about 3 steps before you're going to hit the wall. Marisnick just stays with it. He knows that he's on the wall. He can feel the different surface. Kind of stuck his glove out, and a heck of a catch.
That is a great play. Meanwhile, how about that at bat by Salty? He was down 0-2.
Well, the thing about it was he was getting fed changeups, and that's a fastball that he hits there. So, see, a lot of times when you have the guy on third base, you have that energy in your body. And I want to ask Simo about this. You have that energy in your body, and he's looking change up. He's relaxed, gets the heater, and his bat is actually quicker by doing it that way. How did you handle those situations, Simo?
Well, in that situation, as you said, you do, your energy and your inside start to creep because you want to drive this run in. But it's so important in that particular at bat, especially with the guy at third base less than 2 outs. You have to force the pitcher to get some pitches up so you can handle.
Little bouncer off the end of the bat. Iglesias running hard, but it's going to be the pitcher Davinsky to win the race. 1 gone.
And Salty in that particular bat, Mario, he chased a couple pitches that were down, which makes it tough, too, especially with the infield drawn in, to drive that run in. And as soon as we talked about getting a pitch up, he got a pitch up and he hammered that ball in the center. That's got to be a home run, though. Yeah. 420, that's a long way out there.
Well, back in the old park it was 440, so it's probably fairer anyway.
Yeah, you're right. Not fair, Gibby. No, it's not. It's not fair when you hit a ball 400 feet and you can't get rewarded. I mean, he got rewarded with the RBI.
He got a steak.
But, I mean, that's 2 steaks, Gibby, and a home run.
Simo getting greedy on me.
I am. I'm getting greedy right now.
Hey, when it comes contract time, man, you want that extra steak, don't
Yes,
you?
you do. You want that steak. I want that homer. Those are sexy. I mean, they are. Homers are sexy.
Ian Kinsler, the batter.
Well, I hate to break the news for us three on the air right now. There are no steaks for us, all right? No, steak days are over. We're eating burgers.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. That'll miss inside, 2-1. It's been a good night for Kinsler. A couple of singles, couple of runs scored. Part of the early offensive outburst by the Tigers. That's drilled to left field. Hooking foul. 2-2. Hey, just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game. Brought to you by Miller Lights. Matt Boyd telling Saltalamacchia thanks for that extra run. 10-3. Tigers have the lead. Little chopper slowly back to the mound. Levinsky throws him out. That'll end the inning. Tigers get another run. We go to the 6th, up 10-3. Has been eaten. There's no doubt about that. Tigers as a team have been eaten tonight. They'll bring a big lead into the 6th inning. Wallside windows pitching change. Here's Alex Wilson.
Well, he does it all just like last year. 38 games so far. He's got 8 holds, trying to hold here another one. See the ERA just over 3. But he can close. He can throw multiple innings. He can be a setup guy. He starts if you need him. But he's rested. The Tigers bullpen, not only did they sweep Boston, they came out of there with their bullpen in pretty good shape with the off day.
Altuve hits the second pitch of this at bat into right center, but it's going to be caught by Maven. 1 gone here in the 6th.
Now, just thinking back to that last inning, the strikeout by Boyd on Marwin Gonzalez was huge. They've got 1 guy on, and Gonzalez gets on. They got 2 guys on with Altuve up instead. He leads off the inning here. New pitcher, and he got the leadoff out.
Here is Correa, who tonight has hit about 800 feet of fly ball outs, both of them to center.
Let's keep it that way.
Gotta love that 420 out there. There's a ball low.
Well,
by the way, Gibby, you've had 2 or 3 innings to think about it now. I need the shortest name in Tigers history.
Okay, I was I look at it in 4 letters. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But it's spelled in 2 letters. I get it.
Oh, I think you got it.
Huh?
What do you got?
Knee.
Fute Knee. You're absolutely right.
The pitcher, right?
That's right. Last name technically Knee, N-I, so that's the shortest name in Tigers history.
Baseball history
And in
as well?
baseball history, it's got to be, unless there's a 1-letter last name out there. That
Trying to think of that. Well, if there was 1 letter, what could it be? What one would work?
How about, what was Prince? Prince had a symbol. There are no symbols in baseball, are there? 1 letter?
There used to be no numbers, but yeah, you got to have something, yeah. Out of any of the letter. I mean, the nicknames of 1-letter guys would be, one would be Z.
Z. Good play there by Castellanos. 2 gone.
That becoming a routine by Nick.
2 up, 2 down.
Takes it cleanly on the backhand, just routinely over there. He's very accurate all the time.
It'll bring up Evan Gattis. Gattis, a couple of strikeouts in this game. Ball 1. Fox track set a little bit low.
Yeah, you know, you always want to get deeper than the 5th inning with your starter. However, by switching pitchers here, the Tigers do, I believe, gain an advantage because you got a left-handed guy who throws 4 pitches. Now, really, you've got a right-handed guy who's got, you know, totally different delivery. He's got more of a cutter. It really changes him up, and it takes him an inning or 2 to adjust. And that's what Brad's trying to do. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't try and get 2 innings out of Alex Wilson.
1 ball and 1 strike. And they'll get back out of play. You know, the thing about that Boston series, Gibby, is that they were pretty much low-scoring games, and the starters went deep enough into the game where Brad wasn't forced into using his bullpen early, and that's not always the case at Fenway Park.
Well, when you got into the 2nd game with Pelfrey, I thought, oh boy, here we go. It was back and forth in the runs. I've been in some 16, 15 games in there.
Yeah.
You really have to hang in there, which I thought the Tigers as a team did really well. You know, the Boston caught back up. Was it 8-8? I think it became 8-8.
Correct.
And then you know, you could lose your composure right there, but you're just trying to get out of that inning, in which they did. Tie game, and Miggy hits a home run off the top of the wall the next inning. And then you got the game getting closed down by K-Rod. You get the victory. So now you've won the first 2 and you're relaxed for game 3. This is interesting. Tigers a game and a half behind Houston in the wild card. Toronto and Boston up on top.
You know, the wild card has made things interesting, and certainly the Tigers are looking at that right now. But if they win tonight and Cleveland continues to lose, they're 3.5 out of the Central Division lead.
Well, I think people look at different I guess barriers, like 10 games you want to get it under 10, then it's under 5, which the Tigers have finally done. So they're definitely feeling it.
Swing and a miss, and Wilson a 1-2-3 6th inning. 7 strikeouts for Tigers pitching tonight. On Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. And by Chevrolet, more than you expect for less than you imagine. Nice night here at the ballpark tonight. 10-3. The Tigers have a commanding lead over the Astros. And the Tigers will have 2, 3, and 4 coming up here in the 6th. And they will face a new pitcher, Michael Phillies.
Michael Phillies, 29th game, has 4 holds. He's just trying to hold the Tigers from scoring any more runs. Just sub 4 ERA, 64 strikeouts, and 14 walks. Got a good live arm.
A lot of punch outs for this guy. He'll work it home. Cameron Maben, then Miguel Cabrera, and Victor Martinez. Two-run double for Maben. That came back in the 2nd. He is 2 out of 3 tonight. Here's the 1-1. Slice to right field. Man, oh man, what a thing of beauty again. Leadoff man on. We check in now with Justin White.
Hey guys, Jose Altuve entered this game with a .357 batting average. That is tops in the American League. He is also very close with his countryman Miguel Cabrera. I talked to Altuve before the game, and he called Cabrera the best hitter in the game. Now, we always see Cabrera talking to guys when they get on first base, and I asked Altuve, what is Miggy talking about? Well, no surprise. He's talking about hitting. Cabrera loves talking about hitting. And by the way, if Altuve wins the batting title this year, guys, it'll be 6 straight years that a Venezuelan player has won the American League batting title.
Really?
Yep, Altuve and Miggy.
Yeah. Wow. And another Venezuelan won one for the Tigers a few years back too, and that would be Maglio. So that's great info there, and 2 great hitters as well. Cabrera has hit this one a ton to center field, to the wall again. Marisnik runs it down. They're giving him a workout tonight.
Well, this swing right here, you know, Miggy, we were talking about how much he goes the opposite way. And here he gets the first pitch breaking ball. He sees it. He's just right on time. He's really starting to feel it. He doesn't jump at the ball. Watch him. He just loads up. He waits, and he really lets go of this. And that's a good sign. I mean, he's really starting to get his mechanics down and feeling much more comfortable at the plate.
Simo, what would you have on that one? Did you think it was gone?
No, off the bat, he didn't get it great. He took a good swing. That's that classic Miguel Cabrera swing. Stays inside the baseball extremely well. The lower half, to me, too, Gibby, seems to be working a lot better. Where we're going to see Miggy hit that ball out of the ballpark more times than not, but I think he missed that one.
Yeah, actually got in on him just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, but what I'm seeing is when Miggy really isn't comfortable, he really forces himself to go to right field. When he feels more comfortable, he'll go all field.
He's not happy right now. The look on his face in the dugout, it's not good right now.
You know, I also the last week, by watching the games on TV and being around him prior to that, see a little more fire coming out of Miguel. I think his intensity, but it just feels like he's getting his second win. You know, you get to the All-Star break, then you go to the All-Star game. I see some just a little more intensity, and he's starting to feel it a little bit.
He's all about winning. In his post-game interview, when he does talk with us, he just talks about winning. He's all about trying to win. He wants to win that championship. He wants to chase down the Cleveland Indians. I've been singing that song, guys. I've been singing that song. Nobody's listening to my song yet, but
I am, buddy.
They're coming. The Tigers are coming.
I'm with you. Martinez the batter, and he pops it up. Who wants it? Gaddis still has his mask on. Ooh, he struggled with it, but made the play.
Here's the Magic Moonshot presented by Magic Window. 15 years ago today, he's got a birthday. In the wrong unit, 7/29/2001. Is that your first hit and first dinger?
It was, Gibby. Opposite field, by the way.
Let's see how you broke it down. Look at
you. Real slow, real slow. No, I was rookie then. You're just excited to even make contact.
You are
trying to get around the business.
Yeah, the fireworks and everything.
How much fun was that?
It never gets tired.
No, that never gets old. I remember it was a 1-2 count. Joe Kennedy on the mound. I lined out to third base my first at bat, and then that second at bat, he tried to sneak the cheese by that rat on a 1-2 count. Gibby? No, sir.
Hey, Seymour, I heard Kennedy had a sore arm that night.
It wasn't feeling good.
He wasn't feeling good, right?
He had the flu and a sore arm.
No, but you know what? The coolest thing about that is getting, touching home plate, going into the dugout, Hall of Famer Pudge Rodriguez, well, she will be a Hall of Famer, at the top step. Man, he was more, it seemed like he was more excited about me getting that hit than I was. It was priceless, a moment there with Pudge Rodriguez, and then getting to play with him here in Detroit, getting an opportunity to play in the playoffs and go in the World Series. Pudge is a special person, man. He's a special guy, and that was awesome for him to be at the top step waiting on me.
Special memory.
Yeah.
1-1 on Castellanos. And Nick takes the ball low. Seymour, I'm also here to tell you have not gained a pound since that home run.
No?
No. You look great.
Well, I'm trying to stay in the gym a little bit. I said I don't want to be this bigger, fatter, retired baseball player. And then too, Mario, the European cut suits, they just look better.
Oh,
on
absolutely.
You, yeah.
You got to look good, not feel good.
Well, you got to do both. If you look good, you do feel good.
Yeah, that's
and then
true.
you know the slogan, if you look good, you feel good. You feel good, you play good. In this case, I have to talk good. And if you talk good, they pay good. I don't know about that either, but it's happening right now.
Somehow I think it's not fair that we don't give Rod a say in this conversation right here.
Oh, he'll have his say.
Oh, he's going to have his say, trust me.
He's loading up. He's taking notes.
He's writing some notes down right now in the studios. 3-1 is low. That'll be ball 4 to Castellanos. And now the Tigers have 2 men on here in the 6th. Phillies will get a visit from his catcher Gaddis. Here comes Upton. Craig, I don't know about you, but I think we all agree to a man here that J-Up's at bats have just become more and more impressive as the season has gone on.
They really have. I talked to him early in this season when he was scuffling. He talked about being in between. He said on fastball C, I'm late. On breaking balls, I'm out on my front foot. That is not the case now. He's recognizing pitches better. He's not chasing pitches out of the zone. He's got a short, more compact swing. So I'm enjoying watching him. I know Tiger fans are, because he signed a big deal this offseason, and they expect high things from him. And so I want him to live up to him, and I think he will down the stretch, because he has that kind of talent where he could carry an offense for weeks at a time.
Upton has a single and 3 at-bats in this game. 10-3, Tigers have the lead, looking for more, and Feliz misses outside, 2-0.
See, I think this type of pitcher for J-Up right now is perfect. Feliz is pretty much a fastball slider guy. I wouldn't call it a wipeout slider. So when you're starting to feel a little bit, some pitchers suit your style a little better, and hopefully you'll have a good result right here. Because it's all about incremental steps. When you start to gain, you gain your confidence little by little. Then the success is really implement that and take you to the next level.
Gaddis again out to the mound. Well, I've just been impressed with the way Upton was able to weather the storm the first couple of months and not really get overly down. His demeanor never really changed, and he knew that eventually he would bust out of it and be able to help this ball club, and he has.
Mario, you make a great point. I asked him about that. I asked him, because of the contract, were you putting a lot more pressure on yourself? And he said, absolutely not. He said, I watched my brother Melvin go through that, and I told myself not to do that. I was going to trust the plan and the process.
2-2 on Upton.
Good cut there on the fastball, but swings through it. Of course, I had Jay up when he was a rookie in 2007, and he has been through a lot, and he's his brother as well. Certainly he's invested in his career, but he's just handled it mentally way better. He hasn't checked out, and he stayed on focus, on task. He disregards the negative things that happen with this game and just hangs on to the positivity.
Driven deep in the air to left field. That ball hooking down the line. Rasmus to the corner, and it's gone. J-Up has gone deep. A 3-run shot here in the 6th. Just inside the pole down the left field line. It's making us look good. 13-3 Tigers.
Well, all the things we've been talking about with Jay Up, they just come to fruition right there. That's why you just keep hanging in there. Gets a pitch he can handle. Looks like a hanging slider. Jay Up's a little out ahead of it, but he keeps through the ball. 3-run dinger, and it's 13-3.
Here is Tyler Collins now with the bases empty. That is 15 Tigers hits. Ball 2 to Collins. Upton number 12, RBIs 42, 3 and 4. Two and 1 on Collins. Most hits in a game this year for the Tigers is 18. It's a bouncer slowly towards second. Altuve has it, and that will end the inning. Simo, we'll let you get ready for post-game duties. Thanks for joining us tonight, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. I enjoyed it. Thanks, guys.
All right, Justin Upton adding to the Tigers' lead. A 3-run shot. It's been all Tigers tonight. Highlighting a 3-run sixth that's now 13-3 in favor of the Tigers.
Let's keep it going. Never have enough in my book.
And Wilson goes back to the mound. It'll be Rasmus, Bregman, and White against the Tigers right-hander. He'll pull the first one right into the shift, and Castellanos makes the play. One gone. Time now for T-Mobile's greater coverage of baseball.
Well, this is a recently completed trade. You see Drew Pomeranz, of course, Ardolis Chapman. Everybody knows about him. J-Up's brother's gone. Then, wow, we had him here, good closer. Eduardo Nunez. The Giants always do something, don't they? And Andrew Cashner today to the Miami Marlins. So a lot of activity, a lot of talk, though. You think it's going to finish big? Or?
Oh, yeah, I do. I think we're probably headed for a big finish the next couple of days. Looks like Mr. Wilson is done for the evening. Nice job by Alex Wilson. Retired all 4 that he faced. And we'll have a pitching change. Mark Lowe coming in. We'll be back. As we play in the 7th inning, and the Tigers have gone back to the bullpen. It'll be Mark Lowe to check in.
This works good. Tigers are trying to nurse Mark Lowe back to his dominant self. He's had some pretty good years in advance, and this is the kind of game you want to bring him in. Last 5 outings, 4 innings, 1 hit, 2.08 ERA. So you're hoping you can get him through an inning or innings probably plus here and continue to build his confidence and get him back. He's much needed for the Tigers' stretch run.
Alex Bregman is 0 for 2, pop-up ground out. He'll drive this one toward left field. Upton is going to get there for the out. 2 gone. We check in now with Justin White.
Hey Mario, big night for the Tigers here at Comerica Park. It's also a big night in Toledo because both Jordan Zimmermann and JD Martinez are playing for the Mud Hens. Speaking of the Mud Hens, make sure you stay tuned to Tigers Live all weekend long for our Down on the Farm series. We aired a story in pregame tonight about first-year Mud Hens manager Lloyd McClendon and some of the things he's dealing with in Toledo, and you can see more about the Mud Hens on Tigers Live postgame coming up right after the game, guys, tonight. But back upstairs to you for now.
All right, Justin, thanks. We look forward to it. Always look forward to catching up with what's going down in the minor leagues.
Tigers moved one of their prospects up to Toledo today, didn't they?
Joe Jimenez.
And he's moving quickly to the Tigers. He was in West Michigan last year, closing out the championship for West Michigan, and here he's in AAA this year. I know that the Tigers would like to leave him down there for the rest of the year, but don't be surprised if he succeeds down there that he doesn't end up here pitching for the Tigers this year.
Tyler White is batting with 2 outs, nobody on. All Tigers tonight, they lead by 10. Checked it, and he takes it outside. 1-2. Wilson retires all 4 that he faces. Lowe has come on here in the 7th. Now the 1-2. Just got a piece of it.
Well, let's take a look at some rehab assignments, some updates. Jordan Zimmermann tonight, 4 innings. Only gave up 6 hits and a run. Daniel Norris, 3 starts with Toledo and Erie, 1-1, the 5.29. Talked to him today, he feels okay. And JD Martinez with Toledo, 5 for 13, so he's swinging the bat good. I did not look at the box score to see if he played the outfield yet today, but he's slated soon to start playing in the outfield. He did DH today. Having a little soreness in that elbow yet when he throws the ball.
Well, it's still exciting to see JD out on the rehab along with Zim. Zim said he just wanted to start to feel comfortable. Everything else is all right. That is hit in the air toward right, but foul.
Well, with all the rumors about trades, you know, sometimes the best trades are the trades you don't make. And you could look at all 3, Norris, and you can look at all these guys who are rehabbing that virtually it would make this team stronger.
Yeah, no
Zimmermann,
question.
yeah,
you get Zim back. I mean, you're talking about really a rotation now, and in their absence, guys like Fulmer and Verlander have done well. Boyd has had a couple of really good starts.
Now we just saw Brad looking at the lineup card right there. I'm guessing he's thinking about trying to get some of his regulars out. Who's he going to take out? My first guess would be maybe Biggie. Get him off his feet. And the Tigers have pretty much carried an extra pitcher all year in the bullpen, 8, and 1 less position player, 3 on the bench. I kind of like to see to get back to normal is 4 and 7. I'd like to see if they can get back to normal. And then in games like this, you can give some of your regulars a little bit of rest late in the game, and also gives you more moves to make within a game, given any situation that may help you score runs, or bring a guy in for defensive purposes, etc.
How late in the game would it have to be for you to feel comfortable to take a guy like Cabrera out or Castellanos or anybody else?
Yeah, I think you're getting there right now. You got a 10-run lead, and they're down to their last 7 outs. So I would think coming out that he may consider that.
3-2 in the air. Shallow left center. Maben coming over, and Lowe comes on to get a couple of outs. It's a 1-2-3 inning. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch.
Bank America Bank game summary. Tigers scored 7 runs in the second inning. Everybody's involved. Cam Maben, you got Miggy right there. Tigers just really came out stinging the ball. Like I said, 7 hits in the second inning. In the 6th inning, the big 3-run home run from Jay Up. That was the second 3-run home run. Remember, Tyler Collins hit the 3-run dinger in the second inning. And Tigers now lead 13-3.
Here we go to the bottom of the 7th, and it's Saltalamacchia to lead things off. Got some changes. Preston Tucker takes over in right field for Houston. Jason Castro is the new first baseman. No balls, 2 strikes on Salty, who drilled one deep to center field up against the wall in the 5th inning to knock it a run, a sac fly. The 0-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Saltalamacchia. Infield playing to pull. They have the shift on. It's an Astros team that shifts more than any team in the American League. 2-2 the count. Swing and a miss, and Salty's out of there. 1 away here in the 7th. Tomorrow, MLB on FS1 is back with a big-time doubleheader. Division leaders square off when Bryce Harper and the Nationals battle Buster Posey and the Giants. The Cardinals try to tame the power of Giancarlo Stanton and the Marlins. In a game you can see only on FS1. The action begins at 3 Eastern on FS1, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go.
Everybody expects the Giants to win again because it's an even year, but
That's right.
turned into quite a race over there in the NL West.
Jose Iglesias, the batter. He'll roll one to third, foul. Looks like we're starting to get the answer on the question of when some of the starters come out, because Romine has moved to the on-deck circle for Kinsler.
Yeah, the thing is, who do you take out of the game? We've got Romine, Aviles, and McCann on the bench. Only 3. Put McCann in, you're probably going to move Salty to first base, would be my guess. Got to leave both catchers in the game in case something happens to one or the other. Of course, Andrew Romine could act as the third catcher as well. Looks like Salty's looking for another glove.
Ground ball, third base side, running scoop there. Bregman, nice play. 2 gone. Man, Iglesias just gets down that line in a hurry, regardless of whether it's a routine ground ball or a tough ground ball.
Hustles all the way. He gets out of the box very quickly. Wouldn't call him a burner, but just below.
So Romine will bat for Kinsler. Playing to pull on Romine. Andrew at 233 on the season, hit his first home run of the year in that series in Chicago. That big comeback the Tigers had in the last game of the series. They were down 4-0. Romine homered in the 8th to make it 4-1. And he's gone ahead here 3-0.
Always seems easy to throw that 3-0 right down the middle, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It seems easy.
Why not do it earlier, huh?
Right. Well, get the 3-0. It's fouled back out of play. The 3-2 is swung on and missed. Struck him out, and it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Michael Feliz. 7 in the books. Tigers lead big here tonight. You're watching Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
Sam called the game. Matt Boyd had a job to do. Came out 5 solid innings. Really, he's got his pitches. I thought he struggled a little bit with his pitches, leaving it high on his secondary stuff, but got the job done. Continued to battle throughout the game. A lot of bats leaving the hands of the Houston Astros into the stands. 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 runs, 6 strikeouts, and only 1 walk. But good job by Matt. And again, the Tigers going to their bullpen. Alex Wilson with an inning in the 3rd. Mark Lowe again on for another inning to start here in the 8th. Just kind of looking ahead, you probably want to get Lowe through another inning, and then the most important thing is Bruce Rondon had thrown 4 of 5. Greeny had thrown 7 of 12. Those guys you definitely want to leave out. So it'd either be Kyle Ryan or Mr. Mulliken for the night.
Jake Marisnik leads it off, rolls one to third base behind the bag. Nick with a throw and a nice tag there by Romine.
Romine, I tell you, every time he comes in the game, he gets a play like that. That is smooth. Doesn't play a ton of first base, but goes in the game right here. As a tag play, it's a dangerous play. You can see a lot of wrist injuries. Ooh. They might review this, huh?
Yes, they may. Let's see.
It didn't look like he tagged him.
No. But by the naked eye, it looked like he tagged him, but. And the Astros are going to want to look at this.
And the Astros aren't giving in. I did not think he tagged him on that play.
So even though it's 13-3 here in the 8th, the Astros trying to get the leadoff man on, and who knows?
You never know.
Nope. Yeah, I think he missed him. Phil Cuzzy is the crew chief, so he will come in along with the first base umpire, Adam Hammery.
We know what that means. That was a good sell by Romine. Just had enough of him to know. Get the hand up. That's the olden days right there. Yeah, I got him. Got the call, but I think this is going to be reversed.
So this would be the difference between an out or an error on Castellanos.
Can't really tell. It just doesn't look like he tagged him for sure. Maybe it's going to be too hard to reverse it, huh?
It could be, but I think that last view there was fairly clear. Is it enough to change the call?
What's our clock say right here? This is turned into a long one.
Tick tock, tick tock. Yeah, they're taking a real long look at this in New York.
Because right there, you could argue right away it looks like he may have barely touched it right there.
Yeah.
He doesn't really go after him after that, so only Romine knows if he barely got right there.
Well, here's your decision. Safe.
Safe. Oh boy.
So the leadoff man is on. Castellanos will get an error.
No, why? Tell me why that's an error.
Well, the throw pulled him off the bag.
Well,
Mr.
I mean,
play with it.
do you ever do you subscribe to sometimes you have to throw the ball quicker than you prefer to because it took you like deeper down the line? I mean, does every throw have to be accurate? So every player should take their time and make an accurate throw as opposed to try and get rid of it maybe not as accurate quicker.
Well, I think the fact that would he take one step back? So
yeah.
I mean, that's not an overly difficult play, I don't think, at the major league level. And I'm just thinking as a scorer here.
Can I say something?
After he catches this ball. Hang on, go.
You're right. Just testing you there.
Oh boy,
yeah,
I live for being tested.
Yeah, I know you do. I love tests too.
One gone.
About 30 years ago, huh?
Yeah, failed a few of them in my day.
You failed them?
I passed enough of them, put it that way.
Did you, I mean, seriously, did you ever really fail a test? In college?
In college I did, yeah. Yeah, my first
What was
year
the worst
as a
part
freshman.
about it? What was the worst part about it?
Well, the fact that I realized I failed it because I didn't study.
Was the class in Wells Hall?
No. It was an econ class.
Oh.
And I was way over my head.
Because I had one in Wells Hall.
How do you remember that?
And I looked at the grade, you know how they post them on the wall, and I couldn't believe it.
You couldn't believe that you failed?
No. Couldn't believe it, and I was thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to tell my dad? I was in college.
Well, I didn't tell my dad. That was the point.
You told your mom, and
No,
she
didn't tell
took
anybody.
grease for you, didn't she?
You know, I think I got a 1 point in that class and moved on. Just give me the credits. I need to move on now.
Now the truth comes out.
So you're getting me in hot water here, Gibby, all these years later.
Now your kids are going to know the truth.
That's right. Nobody had to know. Now I can't tell my kids to study because they're just going to say you did. There's a swing and a miss. 2-1 on Castro. Castro getting his first at bat, came on defensively in this game. Tigers lead 13-3. We're in the top of the 8th. Missed it outside. 3 balls in, 1 strike.
So you're now 13-3, and you'll see Romine right here is going to be playing behind the runner. Now, why don't they go? Now, if he plays back here, he probably goes. Okay, there's kind of an unwritten rule that if you're playing up on the runner, they generally don't go. You failed that test, by the way. You got the first one right, but you're at 50% now.
I didn't even answer. You didn't give me a chance to answer.
I asked you.
Well, and then you immediately gave me the answer.
You get 3 seconds. I think if we play it back, I gave you 3 seconds.
Let's
Put
just
the clock
arbitrarily
down.
pick 3 seconds out of the sky.
Tony Sepp warming up for the Astros now.
It's the shortest name in Major League history.
Knee.
3-2.
Knee.
There's some Fute Knee.
Knee.
Hey, this Sunday the Tigers host the Astros at 1:10 p.m. It's Sunday Kids Day. All kids 14 and under receive a free Francisco Rodriguez poster. For tickets, visit tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER.
Threw you for a little wrinkle there, but the Tigers got to get out of this right here. Mr. Altuve's up 2 on, 1 out.
Altuve got the scoring started way back in the first inning with a 2-run homer, and it looked like Matt Boyd might struggle tonight, but he settled in okay. Gave up another run in the 3rd and went 5 innings, and is the pitcher of record for the Tigers. Altuve looks at a strike. It looked like just off the plate by Fox Tracks, but called a strike there by Dan Bellino.
Yeah, earlier in the game there was a couple questionable calls. I think Mr. Dan Bellino's done a pretty good job being consistent. Called that one right on the corner, I guess you could call it. That's what they call black.
The 0-2 is hit in the air to center. Cameron Maybin going back. He's backpedaling to the track to make the catch. Lead runner advances.
Boy, he hit that a long way, didn't he?
Just you know, I look at this guy play, and it amazes me what he can do. Looks like that's going to be it for Lowe. Brad comes out. He is signaled to the bullpen. So the Tigers go right back to the pen with a 13-3 lead here in the 8th. We'll be back. Tigers were basically the difference in this one. They scored 9 runs in the first 2 innings.
Matt Boyd with a good 5 innings, and Upton and Collins 2 3-run dingers each. Contributions from all tonight.
Good to see offensively, no question. Dustin Mollican has come out of the bullpen now.
7 innings pitched so far for the Tigers. This is his 4th appearance. Got to get that whip down. He wanted 1-5 or below. 7 strikeouts, only 4 walks. His first game since the 16th of July.
So it's been a while.
Probably try and have him finish this out.
Bouncing ball left side, base hit. That'll get through. It's an RBI hit for Correa. And it's 13-4.
Correa knows he's going to get the heater right there. He's waiting for it. Ground ball in between the shortstop and the third baseman.
Bring up Evan Gattis. 66th RBI for Correa. Gattis 0 for 3, tough 90. He's punched out 3 times. 1 ball, no strikes. Gattis in his career against Tigers pitching just 170. Way outside, 2-0 the count.
Yeah, it's probably going to take Dustin a little bit of time to get his rhythm out there on the mound. He hasn't pitched, as we said, against the 16th, so probably not feeling real comfortable yet.
Now the 2-0 high, 3 balls and no strikes. Colby Rasmus waiting on deck. The 3-0 in there, 3-1.
When you're in this situation with a lead like this, 13-4, you're just aiming right down the heart of the plate. Like I said, trying to find your rhythm, get comfortable on the mound, get out of this inning.
Ball 4 high. Put a man on now to load the bases. Hey, by the way, the Tigers hometown championship is underway. I want to tell you about the annual youth baseball and softball tournament presented by the Detroit Tigers Foundation. There are 98 teams competing now through Saturday, August 6th, with over 1,800 girls and boys playing softball and baseball. And it's all a part of the Tigers organization to get kids playing the game that we all love, baseball. So that's ongoing right now.
Excellent.
Gotta love it, getting the community involved.
Colby's going to be looking for the first pitch heater.
And he got it. Ground ball right side. It's going to get through. Base hit. This will get 2 runs in. It's a single for Colby Rasmus to drive in 2 more.
Well, again, you know that he's going to be looking for the fastball. I just walked the previous hitter. So he's going to try and get a little cookie, and he does. Just barely finds the gap right there. Romine venturing far to his right. I'm not sure that covered the mound and would be able to get there as it is. Yeah. You with him?
Just through the 2 defenders. There's a swing and a foul out of play by Bregman.
I'll tell you, I've managed several games like this where you want to get your regulars out of there, and then all of a sudden, you know, it's 13-3. Now it's 13-6. Somebody hits a 3-run homer right here, and the game changes a different complexion. But you did the right thing. You just got to try to relax. We'll get through this.
The 0-1 is a strike called. 0-2. Bregman's still looking for his first major league hit. He's 0 for 3 in this game, 0 for 12 overall.
Should get a slider chase pitch right here.
Now the 0-2. 1-2 count. Well, the Tigers are getting Shane Green up in the bullpen now.
They're not going to mess around, are they?
Now 13-6 game at this point. RBI single by Correa, 2-run single by Rasmus. Lowe started the inning, and now Malakin. The 1-2 popped up foul, headed back to the seats.
Had a good view of that one, didn't we? Looks like he wanted to come right in and see us. Falls in shortly.
Look at that cutie. Still awake too. The 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball back up the middle. Aviles has it, and that'll end the inning. Astros get 3 back, and we'll go to the bottom of the 8th, 13-6. Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. When it's time, come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com to see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Wallside windows. We can do that. We are the factory. And by Infinity, visit your local Detroit area Infinity retailer for a test drive today. Turned into a gorgeous night here in the Motor City. Tigers up 13-6.
Been a good game for the Tigers, coming in off an off day, feeling good about their road trip, and got some of the regulars out, and they'll be facing here in the 8th Tony Sipp. 39 games already. He had a great year for the Astros last year. ERA this year a little bit up there, 4.73. It's not been as effective. And as you talk about trades, what teams are looking for.
David Strokes one to center field, caught on the run by Marisnik.
I think that the Astros, as well as the Tigers, might be looking for a left-handed reliever. Situational guys, just come in quickly. Gap guys. Tony Sipp has done this in the past. Not a lot of trade talk around the Tigers today, though, was there?
There really wasn't. And again, Monday is the trading deadline. Monday at 4 p.m. August 1st this year. They didn't want the deadline coming on a Sunday when games are still being played. Aviles getting his first at bat after taking over defensively last half inning, and he looks at a strike.
I think and expect the Tigers not to take anything. I think they're looking if something falls into their lap, but other than that, I think they're feeling pretty good about their ability with the players that they have. Seem to be rounding into shape nicely right now this time of the year.
I would agree, and a 3-game sweep in Boston certainly helps.
And I also think that that you have the trade deadline, and you don't have to ask waivers on a player pre-trade deadline. After you do, I still think you can get guys through after that deadline. So I think even though the Tigers, they should need something later, or another team, that there's still possibilities. I don't think it's like it used to be.
Yeah, and we always see guys being picked up in August. Contracts have a lot to do with guys getting through waivers. Some teams trying to unload big contracts. They're not worried about somebody picking them up. So you see a lot of guys put on waivers in August. Let's roll to the second baseman. Right there is Altuve.
And what that means, you put a guy on waivers after the trade deadline date, and if nobody claims him, you can trade him to whoever you want, unless the guy has a no trade clause or limited no trade clause. But if the guy claims him, he's got him. I mean,
you got to take him.
They got to take him. You got to pay the contract. Now, sometimes teams do what you call block. Okay, they'll take the guy and they block him. Now the team that put the player on waivers, they can, I believe, I don't know if it's revocable waivers or not. I'll check on that. We'll talk about it tomorrow. But you can pull the player back, or you say he's yours.
Right.
So I know, like Randy Myers, remember him?
He's
left hand.
The big example.
He was going to Cleveland. He was going somewhere in San Diego. Selected him to block that team from getting him. And they said, "Here, he's yours."
They got stuck.
They got stuck with him. He had his career was basically over. They were stuck with that contract. So there's some mechanics, is what I'm trying to say, to wrap this thought up. Is there's some mechanics that it doesn't mean after Monday you cannot make trades, because you certainly can through different things we've been talking about.
Alex Rios, another good example too of a big contract, selected by the White Sox, and they got stuck with his contract. Here's the 1-1 to McCann, who's pinch hitting, and he puts a charge into that one way back in left field. See you later. Oh, McCann hammered that thing to left. 7th home run of the year for James. No doubter.
Yeah, well, he got a hanging breaking ball. And yeah, this is a no doubter right here. Sitting on the bench all game. This is good for James. It's just a hanging breaking ball right down the heart of the plate, and he puts a good swing on him, and it is a no doubter. That's got to feel good. Get James McCann back on track. Ever since he hurt that ankle here early in the season, he has not been able to regain his form.
14-6. Big swing by Castellanos. Tigers have 3 homers tonight. Collins, Upton, and now McCann. Ooh, that one went 429 feet.
Is that the same as Collins?
I think Collins was 424. Oh, 2. Tyler's home run was hit in the 7-run second, way back into the seats in right field.
So we were talking earlier, they get Miggy out of the game, they get Kinsler out of the game. Maven stays in, he's had a break.
Sharp line drive caught by Correa to end the inning. Tigers add another. They do it via the long ball. A home run for James McCann. And the Tigers have added another. 14-6. Nice. We look forward to it. Tigers, of course, have provided a lot of offense tonight as they lead 14-6. We go to the 9th inning, and getting Zimmerman back. Boy, talk about lengthening your rotation.
Yeah, I know Jordan will want to get back. Thing is, you want to make sure you're bringing him back. You're not rushing him because you want him to stay healthy. So only he really knows in the training staff. But you know, they've taken quite a bit of time, it seems, to get him right, and hopefully he's pain-free and he can pitch his way out of there. The Tigers can make it into the playoffs, and that becomes quite a haul once you get into the postseason.
Yeah, especially the way Zim was pitching early in the year in that huge month of April. 2-1 is fouled back out of play by Tyler White.
Yeah, quite a contrast before he went on the disabled list and before anybody knew that he was hurting. But his performance did let us all know that something wasn't quite right, and of course it comes down, and they've calmed it down, and he's ready to go.
2-2 on White. We're in the 9th inning. He'll be followed by Marisnik, and then Tucker is fouled back out of play. Malakin came on in the 8th. He's trying to get him through the 9th now. Dustin, a native of Saskatchewan, where, as you might expect, he played a lot of hockey as a youth. In fact, his uncle Lorne coached the Blackhawks back in 1990.
Wow.
The 2-2 is a bouncer to the shortstop. Iglesias with a routine play, one gone. They follow the Tigers live all season with the MLB.com and Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment. Game day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet. One away now for Marisnik. One for 3, solo homer in this game. Malakin missing outside.
Again, Boyd with 5 innings, Wilson 1 in the 3rd, Lowe with 1 in the 3rd. Now they're trying to get Mulligan here through this. He threw a 1/3 of an inning last inning, and now they're trying to get him through this last 9th inning.
1-0 pitch is fouled out of play.
Looking much more comfortable on the mound. Has not pitched since July 16th. So a lot of good things happening for the Tigers tonight. Get through this last half of this inning, take the victory. Hopefully nobody gets hurt in this last little bit, and we'll come back tomorrow and try and win another one.
Chopper right side. Nice short hop play by Romine. Safe at first base. Malakin could not quite get there.
Yeah, and look, he got to get to the bag and stay there. He tried to time it, and good hustle beats him to the bag.
Infield hit for Marisnik.
See Dustin right there, how he slows down. He took it for granted. Marisnik hustled. He underestimated how quickly he could get there. It's a base hit.
Ooh, it was close.
Not going to reverse it though, are they?
No. Tigers shifting now.
Yeah, as a pitcher, you're taught to get there and stay. And normally it's easier if you time it, but you got to get to the bag and beat the runner.
First at bat of the night for Preston Tucker.
He let it go.
Wasn't bashful about it.
No.
1 on, 1 out in the 9th. 14-6. Tigers have the lead. Bouncing ball right side. Romine will take the out at first base. Runner advancing to second, 2 gone.
Now I know that the score is 16 or 14-6, but it's just always stuff to watch here. Just this is how I watch. Just now watch what happens here. He's going to take this out. You got right here. Go ahead. Romine's going to take this out. There's something that happens here at first base. What do you see right now? Nobody's at third, right?
Right.
Go ahead. Let her go. But the catcher will take off. You'll see him. The guys are still thinking out there. You got to keep shaking. I never quit, do I?
Never have.
Relentless.
2 outs and a foul down the left field line by Jason Castro.
you'll see that play on TV or on our TV air or somebody else's this year. You'll see somebody doesn't cover. I promise you. If you're watching TV.
Well, again, I think a lot of teams are still getting used to the differences and the challenges that shifting presents. Here's the 0-1. Big swing there. 0-2 on Castro.
Yep, throwing the ball way better. Was uncomfortable in his first inning of work. Actually, I should say first third of an inning of work. Now you can just see he's more comfortable, got more rhythm. Ball's coming out of his hand much better, and he's got some location.
Tigers are a strike away from winning their 4th straight game. 4 in a row. Castro goes down on strikes, and the Tigers with an impressive, and I mean impressive, 14-6 win tonight. Collins a big home run early in this game, and the Tigers brought up the whooping sticks offensively.
Boy, they really did. 14 runs on 16 hits. Unfortunately, they did have a little scar in there. 3 home runs. One by McCann, Tyler Collins, and Justin Upton. Good contributions throughout the order. So the Tigers win tonight, 14-6. We'll be right back to sum it up.